Who remembers what the hell happened?
Should we like start like calling out like the session number? And,
Yeah,
like,
sure. Yeah, I should be a better GM and I should do that. This is
What?
Hell's
it's for our
Vengeance.
viewers. It's not. It's not really for us. It doesn't matter what section it is.
You mean us and 3 other people?
Our
Joe.
viewers, yeah.
So last time, didn't we start with?
Wait, seriously, what session is this? Is
This
54?
is section 14 of Hell's Vengeance, chapter 4 for Queen and Empire. Not that you're doing anything for Queen or Empire, but
I'm building my own empire, sir.
oh yes, okay.
Here's a rule set. Prepare to bail.
I got a whole giant book about you building a fucking brewery.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. You're a nerd.
You're gonna fail at building a brewery.
Oh.
The brewery's gonna burn down. Go ahead. Who knows?
So we started out with Nero going to visit the noblewoman whose name I don't remember.
Baroness Galinthia.
Baroness Galinthia. We all went in. There was some shamazel about who was bringing weapons and whatnot. Did we do something before this?
Hey, my scrolls.
Yeah.
Nero went out and got scrolls for Iwan. Got scrolls for himself, got scrolls for Iwan. Came back. Iwan copied them in her book and miraculously was able to lift the curse off of herself. And over the protests of whatever good aligned creature was trying to stop her from doing so, she then spends the rest of her time realizing that she's being watched and does not want to go anywhere, does not want to do anything because she doesn't want anyone to know what she's doing. So she's sitting in the place where we're staying. Valor's Fastness is something else.
Log keeping rest.
That's the G spot, right?
Yeah. Anyway, she is sitting in there, and we all went to see Baroness Galinthia. There was some shemazel at the door about whether or not we would bring in weapons. Some people did, some people didn't. Nero schmoozed Bob in there with his weapon. Boris went in with his weapon because he realized that the lady likes sluggery. She's very interested in Nero. We schmooze a bit. We talk about nonsense. Nero sort of floats the idea of the Children of the Pit, and she's sort of into that. But she's sort of a whack-a-loon, so who knows. We say goodbye. Nero says, if you want to call on me, and we bail out. What else happened?
Anybody else remember anything that happened after you talked to Baroness Galinthia?
Was that like when we went down to the slave market? And
Yes.
Boris went and talked to Sethek too. Right now.
Was that the end of that was the end of the previous session, I think.
Yeah, last time.
Chris finally remembered that he had gone to talk to Sethek. Or the last session. Go and find what's her face? The Bellflower chick.
Maisel Jaluth.
Maisel
Barrett.
Jaluth, look at this guy. No wonder
What's
name.
her name?
Maisel Jaluth.
Maisel Jaluth. Yeah, go and find her. Find out that her friend, Ursula, remember her name,
There you go.
was the Necropolis lawyer that was fighting against Nero's claims, and gonna make an intro there. Then after that, we went to Bob and Durham were off buying slaves to start a brewery. Then they bought the slaves.
Yes, they bought 2 slaves. One labor-type slave, and one smart slave who they hope will run a brewery. He's not like specifically a brewery-running slave, but yeah.
A generally competent slave.
Yeah, one
if
that
you
could keep books at the very least, yeah.
will. And yeah, then Boris went and talked to Siggy, convinced him that we need some muscle to move stuff around inside brewery. And it's kind of where we ended, right?
I think so. You were talking to Siggy, and yeah, you saw him loading a bunch of stuff into a building behind like a big stage where they were selling slaves. I think that's where we stopped. Is that everything we were doing? I think so. Durin also had a conversation with a bunch of other Thrune agents at Lawgiver's Rest. He went out to breakfast with them.
I made a
schmoozed
friend.
a bit. Yeah.
Phyllis.
Phyllis, yeah, Phyllis the Phyllis the half elf rogue, and you talked to a barbarian and a cleric. And again, you were interested in the fact that she saw you as more than just like a curiosity. You were genuinely interesting to her. But that's pretty much where we stopped off. I think. Did everybody go back to Lawgiver's Rest for the night? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I don't think we would go to the office just yet, right, Bob?
No, certainly not yet. Bob had to go change.
Into the dress shirt.
Yeah, into the dress shirt.
And I'm always wearing a dress shirt.
So that's the end of Monday. Is anybody doing anything else for the end of Monday?
Why is it the end of Monday? We're going to get drinks with Ursula and what's her face.
Okay, if that's sure. That could be.
We
Yeah.
lined that up.
You did agree.
You're on
that.
Vors,
That
right?
makes sense. Yes.
Nero will probably do some divination. Jeff, did you put
You're
that in
trying to
somewhere?
get drinks, Nero.
Of course I am, but I can do that stuff too. We got hours, man.
Imagine you're at the bar, just like his eyes rolling back in his head. He's like scribbling on the bar napkin. No, but seriously. So you're gonna do some divinations. Let me know what you ask. Coordinate that with Jeff, I guess.
Sure.
And so, but who's going out to drinks? Nero and Vors are going out. No one else is going with them.
That's it.
You guys want to do some of your other work on the way home?
I mean, is it possible to buy a freaking warehouse on the way home?
No. We're going to do it.
Is he lagging or is that me?
It's never going to happen.
I think he's referring to something else.
Could be anything.
Does Michael not remember, or does Bob not remember?
Michael doesn't remember.
Well,
I don't know if Darren knows, actually.
you've got some. Oh, that's a good point, actually.
We've got some time. Let's go back and get them, and then we'll go check out either the warehouse, or you guys can get up to your business, and I'll try to lend support from a distance.
All right. So everyone's going. Is that what I understood?
Or we'll come back and get them. That's fine. We'll just come back and get them.
Okay. So
Iwan's not leaving the room, probably.
Bob Durin and Iwan, Bob Durin and Iwan, that's right. They're hanging out at Lawgiver's Rest, just waiting. Nero, Vors are heading down to somewhere in, I believe I said the Five Favors district, Aspects Garden. So somewhere over here, you guys go to a bar, and it's a decidedly middle class bar. And you walk in, and immediately, Vors, you see the barrister sitting next to a woman who you presume to be Ursula.
She hot.
Not particularly, no.
Is she halfling?
She is not a halfling. She is a human.
So what's nearest? Is that up nearest alley? Like, what are we? I have no idea what Nero's inclinations are.
Oh, no, you don't.
Are you about that life?
Nero has never made any indication in any way, has he? It's never really come up.
Nope. At least not since I've been around.
Anyhow, onward.
Okay. So you go up to the table, and Maisel waves to you with her hand she actually has, and invites you over to a table, and her and Ursula already have a drink in front of both of them.
Force would ask what they're drinking. Break the ice. Or I guess, I'll introduce himself to say hi to Maisel. And introduce himself to Ursula, introduce Nero to Ursula, with the proper honorifics and all that. Nero.
Hero
And
Bows does all that stuff.
What are the honorifics? What are we talking about here? Who's doing what? I do the
assume
thing.
it's
I'm going to roll
appropriate.
diplomacy now, so I do good.
There's Nero Bows. Nero Bows says that he's heard a lot about Ursula, and that he thinks they can do business. He addresses them both by a formal title for a barrister, Your Honor, whatever would be appropriate.
All right. So Maisel, she accepts your greeting warmly. She reaches across the table and gives Vors a handshake on the forearm, like a slightly more personal handshake than the others. And she nods and says, "This is Ursula." She introduces you, and Ursula grabs Nero by the hand and shakes it overly eagerly. "Oh, Nero, I have so many questions for you. This is so interesting."
Questions for me? I have questions for you.
And she says, "Well, sure, certainly. What?"
I heard you're working for the Maricopolises, or were until recently.
She nods as was, yes.
Well, you would happen to know that I am probably the subject of much of their legal dealings.
She nods and says, yes. You're all the talk in the courts of Agorian.
Excellent. Well, I'm certain that you will have plenty to offer when I put you on retainer to figure out this quandary for me.
The quandary with the halflings?
With the Narcopolises in general, with divesting them of Countarian holdings, that sort of thing, yeah.
Is that your end goal then? And Joe is asking, is that also what you filed, specifically divesting Cantarian or Necropolis from Cantaria?
Mostly the halflings, but there's sort of if you had done this appropriately, you would have held this appropriately, and you didn't do any of those things, and that's why it fell apart. So not necessarily that my job is to ruin them, but there's certainly some ruining going on in there.
She smiles and actually blushes a little bit, and she looks down at the table before coming back up and says, I believe that could be arranged. Yeah, I think I could help you out.
All right. Well, then you and I have some drinking to do. Do you want us to bore you with this, or should we get another table and bore ourselves?
Like Nero the wingman.
Make a sense motive check, Vors.
Where is my human? There's my human.
Where's my human? There's my... Oh, yeah, I should, put you on a map somewhere, but I guess you can do this else. Right? We should have a map. We should have music. I should be a better GM.
+3, because I studied
because
all.
you study 3 people at once or whatever the hell you do these days. So you can tell that Maisel, the alleged barrister, is genuinely interested in this conversation.
Alleged? What?
You don't know that she's actually the barrister. She's the alleged barrister.
Oh, all right. Gotcha.
She's a woman with one hand who happens to be in Agorian.
Okay. Nero, I think this sounds pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind hanging out for this. I doubt, you've never bored me. I mean, you can get hung up on semantics sometimes, but...
I'll try to keep it light.
Yeah, Vors, you can tell that Maisel is very happy to hear you say that she didn't have to butt in and stop that from happening. So she seems really interesting. Oh, good. Is Dern giving us music? Wonderful. 3 hours of heroic fantasy music. Okay. Why not?
DJ Dern in the house.
So Nero will basically lay out Nero basically knows that basically he brings out some money and makes sure that money exchanges hands and makes sure that they have agreed in front of other people that there is non-disclosure of any of his interests to other people, which he's sure that the Narcopolis didn't bother to make with her.
Yeah. So yes. Are you asking her to sign anything, or are you just basically doing this all verbally?
I'll do it all verbally, and basically give the barrister and give Maisel and Boris the eyeball as my witnesses.
Please.
And then he'll sort of lay out his claim in as plain a terms as he can, what he thinks, what laws would be effective, and and then he basically will want to hear what she has to say about what he said and what the Narcopolis argument is, other than, but I want it. But it's mine.
So you lay it out, and you watch as her eyes light up as you're describing some of the things you found. And a lot of the laws you quoted are not like, they're not recent. Like, you found like hundreds years old, even pre-Thrune Chilaxian law that is still canon, which is still holds weight in the court. And you basically weaved this argument from all these things that some people didn't even know exist, and she's just astounded to watch you work. Like, it's almost like your conspiracy things where you're like, you're drawing your divinations for this connects to that, and you're just tying these things in such a way that it's like you're creating a case that shouldn't exist, that no one thought could exist, but you're basically you make your argument very clearly. Like, you abandoned your holdings because of all these things. X, Y plus Z equals you don't get to keep this anymore. And you watch as you're making your argument, she seems genuinely like amazed at your ability to manipulate the law, and she nods and says, "That's pretty much what we came up with. They assigned a bunch of barristers to figure out how to undo your arguments, but everything you've laid out is ironclad. I don't know how they could possibly beat this."
I imagine they make friends with someone who could change the law. Suppose I'll have to sway the queen in my favor.
She chuckles and says, "That would certainly help, but the cards on the table, I think you would win. If everybody threw down their hands right now, I don't see how they could possibly win this case." And she gets sad for a moment and says, "And I think that's why they fired me."
Well, if I may interject then, like, how can we help this go to court faster? Like, what's holding things up right now? Why isn't this trial?
And she says, the courts are backed up. There's plenty of cases to be had and held. And unless you know somebody who knows somebody, things tend to linger for a while. The Narcopolis are pulling up a stink and doing everything they can to prolong the proceedings, trying to figure out a way to beat this. But I just don't see it. And I told them that, and they were not happy.
If only we had a favor with someone high at court. Excellent. Well, we're going to put you on retainer, and we'll see how long this needs to go on.
And she seems very happy. She keeps looking back at Maisel, and you can tell that, like, she definitely needs the work. Like, she was very afraid of not having a job for a while, and the fact that she went from losing her job to getting one back within 24 hours is exceedingly... She's happy about it. And she says, yes, of course, this is... And she says, again, I believe your argument is ironclad. I'm not sure what I can help you with, but whatever I can do, I will do.
Well, I mean, I assume that somebody will have to be in court and prosecute this if I'm not here myself to help the proceedings along. It would certainly behoove me to have a good lawyer. If nothing else, I could advise you in the court.
She seems a little disheartened by that and says, "Oh, you're not planning to argue before the courts?"
Well, not that I wouldn't like to. That in the past 5 days, I think we've been in 3 major cities in Cheliax. We've been in, maybe not 3, maybe not major is a bad word, but we've been in Sonara, Cantaria, and Igorian in the last 5 days. So I want to be there, but God only knows where things will pull me.
And she seems genuinely surprised when you mention all these. These cities are all weeks apart for normal people. And she says, "Wait, what? You've been to all these cities?" And you can see her like mentally mapping it out in her head. Within the past few days?
We have a teleporter, so...
and she seems like awestruck like this, and she says, I don't understand. And she's like, what do you... And she looks at Vors for a moment. She's, what do you do? I thought you were a lawyer based on all the documents I've read.
Oh, I'm a Hell Knight.
And her eyes go wide. She's, oh, of what order?
The Godclaw.
She gets a little less excited. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We're on our way up. Don't worry. This is the start of things.
And
There's no way but up from where you are.
That is correct.
She gestures onto the table. There's no documents or anything before, but she said, this is the way up. Asking like the arguments you're making at the court today are the way up.
I think building goodwill at the court and building precedent in the law through one of our signifers is one of the starts to this.
When you say building goodwill in the court, she looks at you and says, this is not going to build goodwill with anybody. Perhaps legal precedent, as you say, but this is going to make you a lot of enemies, Nero.
Definition of goodwill for a Hell Knight order is a little different than it would be for a member of court. It's more that this will advance the law.
You can see that she definitely appreciates that a little bit, but she's hesitant, and she just says, like, here in the capital city, things are a bit muddier than that. I hope that works out for you.
Let's hope so. Well, you're going to be along for the ride, so let's hope it works out for the both of us.
She smiles and blushes again. And Maisel actually laughs at her blushing. You can tell that she's obviously very impressed with you as a lawyer. And Maisel is just kind of like laughing, like, oh, you're fawning over this guy for being an amazing lawyer. And she begins striking up a conversation with Vors, but we don't have to roleplay it out. It's just casual conversation. She's obviously paying a lot of attention to the conversation that Nero is having with Priscilla. Or, sorry, what's her name?
Ursula.
Ursula.
Ursula. Tentacle lady.
Tentacle lady, yeah, Ursula, yeah. So yeah, she's obviously paying a lot of attention to that, but she still is trying to make conversation with Vors. She's not just leaving you out in the cold.
That's fine. I'm not here for that.
You're not here for that? Okay, well, I'm gonna make a diplomacy check anyway.
Wait, for Ursula or against, like, Maisel?
For Maisel, yeah, so she does an admirable job of keeping a decent conversation with you alongside of this. So again, you can tell that she's very obviously distracted and very interested in what Nero has to say and what Ursula is saying back. But she's still she's making a casual conversation about you, talking about the drinks you're having and stuff like that. But you definitely get this sense that she's very much vested in what they're talking about.
And Vors is too, so
Good.
that works.
All right. Anything else you guys want to talk to Ursula or Maisel about?
So Vors would, I guess, like, Vors would just ask, like, so do you have any interest in this besides just, like, getting a job? I mean, like, yeah, it seems fortuitous, but, like, why? Like, why would you be interested in doing this kind of work and, like, just supporting a case like this?
She said it's not just supporting a case, it's supporting the law. And she looks to Nero as if she said something he would approve of.
Well, it's not just supporting the law, like, it's, like, helping to establish precedent. And if you would only want to do that if you want a certain precedent set. So why are you sitting here with someone who's selling slavery contracts looking to help establish a sanctuary for halflings?
So she pauses for a moment, but sticks to her gun. She says, "No, this is the law. It's not what I believe or why I believe the things I believe. This this is the law. Nero has not. We're not creating precedent. Nero has found precedent. This is Chellish law, and she looks to Nero to back her up.
But laws were written by people and had to be established at some point.
Certainly. And she says, and do you believe House Narcopolis acted honorably in abandoning Cantaria?
I mean, that's beside the point. It doesn't matter, like, whether they acted appropriately or not, like, from, like, a moral standpoint. But, like, people pick and choose the laws that they want to, like, push forward and enforce.
Perhaps people way above us, such as the Queen, may do that, but she looks to Maisel and herself and says, for us, and she also extends her hand to Nero, for us, the law is the law.
Yeah, I'm not sure I believe that, but...
And also, this is Joe speaking, for the record, Nero is arguing that he owns the slaves, not that they are free citizens. Nero is arguing that Narcopolis abandoned them, they lose all their holdings, including all slaves, and he legally owns them. Just for the record.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily the ends of what this is Chris talking of what, like, he's setting up there.
Correct, but also do the others know or do the others care is a great question. But, like, basically he's arguing that House Narcopolis left, these halflings are mine now, is what he's arguing.
Yeah, so, like, basically all I was trying to do is just have Voris push the point and try to get a read on them.
Yes.
Just, like, how they were reacting to that.
Toss another sense motive check. It is a very good reason to do the things you've done. You can tell that Ursula seems sincere in the fact that the law is the law. She's making arguments with you, and she's not just doing them for fun. She believes, like, this is the law. She is astonished that Nero found these things, and you can tell that she's definitely, like, interested in Nero as more than just a lawyer at this point. Are you still there, Chris, or did you just... I saw Bobby Shmuda disconnected. Is that Bob? That's my brother?
Wait.
Sorry.
No, that's your brother.
Yeah, that's my other me.
I just turned off my video.
Sure. Okay. So you get the vibe from Ursula that, again, she is very much like the law is the law. She's kind of the same cut of the same cloth from Nero, and she's interested in Nero as more than a lawyer, perhaps. With that same role, though, you get the sense from from Maisel, that she is very much interested in the idea that the halflings are being free. So as you're kind of poking and prodding, you watch her get just a little bit uncomfortable when you say things like, oh, well, laws are what people make them and blah, 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 blah. And you can tell that she's a little uncomfortable with the fact that, like, that you're treating the idea of these halflings being freed or protected in some way. You're getting a weird vibe from her.
Like, weird how? Like, is she just, like, uncomfortable, or am I getting a sense that, like, she doesn't agree with the points that I'm making?
What exactly are the points that you're making in that argument?
Oh, he was basically just trying to push on the... Well, bring up the fact that, like, the slaves are essentially being freed, and that, like, it's pretty well known that at least in Cheliax, the only way to, like, protect, like, halflings within the context of, like, the current laws is to have a benevolent owner who essentially grants them their freedom, but still, like, holds on to, like, their ownership, because at least that way they are protected from slavers. Like, they're still property and can't just be, like, captured and forced back into slavery.
Okay. Yeah. So she definitely picks up on that vibe, and you can tell that she's agreeing. She tacitly agrees with you as you're making these points, and you're saying, "Oh, you're establishing precedent. What does that mean?" You can tell that she picks up on the fact that you're talking about, like, these halflings are not just being transferred ownership; they're being freed. There's something being built out there that is not congruent with Cheliax as a whole. Is that really what you want? And again, Ursula is just like, the law is the law. We do what we do because that's the law. But Mazel Jaluth, you can tell she's like, you get the vibe that she believes these halflings should be freed. That this is as close to free as they can reasonably be. This is a good thing to be doing. And she's very interested in hearing everything Nero says and all the backing up that Ursula is doing. You can tell that she's happy. You watch little subtle micro gestures in her face that imply like she's happy with what's going on. This is a good thing that's happening. Not just because it's the law, but it's because it's what she would want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Boris was just like trying to emphasize that some more and like not explicitly say that it's good to like grant these slaves their freedom, like outright, but like hint towards that end. Just basically like trying to use that to build rapport with her.
Toss me another diplomacy check. Yeah, you do a good job of conveying that to her. You're basically explaining, hey, yeah, basically everything you just said. I don't need to restate your words for you. But yeah, so you've conveyed that, and you can tell that she's kind of amenable. She's looking at you seriously. She's basically sizing you up. You can tell she's sizing you up. And she continues making somewhat casual conversation with you. But she does ask you explicitly. So what do you know of the halflings there in Cantaria, Horus? What do you remember of them when you left? When were you last there?
Horus look over to Nero like 5 days ago.
I've lost track. Feels like it's been months.
I mean, like they've got a nice little like village going now, like basically like their own like community, like on the outskirts of Cantaria. They seem pretty happy. They still definitely need protection. Like if they're gonna be able to maintain that, like it wouldn't take much to overrun them and force them all back into shackles.
And the people of Cantaria are okay with that?
I mean, they certainly seem to be supporting it.
I don't know that it matters what the people of Cantaria want. You know, they want freedom and the glorious reclamation one day. They want to be under Cheliax the next day. They're loyal, they're disloyal. You know, the halflings at least are pure beings.
They want to be comfortable. They don't care what boot they're under, as long as the soul is soft.
Sure.
Mazel seems very interested in this time of conversation. You can tell that Ursula is getting a little less interested as we're veering off like into philosophy from hard law. But Mazel is definitely interested in the kind of discussion you're having.
Well, I mean, no doubt I own them, and that they're as part of my holdings. I don't want to worry about every time I leave town whether or not they're going to be snatched up by random slave catchers and sold at market.
Of course.
So the idea that I want them to defend themselves, that I want them to be able to take care of themselves, is pretty self-explanatory.
And that's why you filed such an injunction, Mazel asks.
I mean, some of it is that what point is it you have holdings if the second that things are difficult? The idea that they overthrew this town so easily. What kind of racket are you running that the people abandon you like that? That the whole town abandons you? That this movement can sweep in with a handful of soldiers and you're done for?
And she looks and says, "Did the whole town abandon them?"
It took some convincing to come back.
But that only took 4 people.
Does Vor's say that, or is that Chris saying that?
That's Boris saying that.
And she looks at you and she pauses for a moment and she says, "So long as the soul is soft."
Indeed. Or if they're made to feel that they're wearing the boot.
She seems like, what do you mean by that?
Democracy can be a funny thing.
She chuckles and says, yes, we've heard tales of Andoran, and certainly. And she nods. And she looks back at Nero, and Mazel asks you, what do you think of what I do, then?
Selling slave contracts?
She nods.
I think what you do is legal. I don't understand the question. Do I have a hard opinion on what you do?
She nods when you ask if you have a hard opinion on what she does. Yes.
What you're doing is entirely legal. I have no opinion, positive or negative, about it. I find slavery with the idea of cruelty a bit distasteful. You hear some of the things that go on in slavery, and it just, why would you do that?
And Ursula is nodding along as you're saying all of this, and Mazel raises an eyebrow and asks, and without cruelty?
I mean, slavery, and we could dissemble about whether or not slavery is cruel the whole night. Slavery is the law. And these people were slaves, and now they're slaves with a better master.
She takes that in for a moment and nods and says, well, I certainly hope so. And she raises her glass to drink to you.
Cheers. So, but what about you? How do you feel about it? You're a halfling selling slave contracts.
No one's a halfling. Who's a halfling?
She's missing a hand. That's
She's
the
missing
only
a hand. She's not a halfling.
Oh, I thought she was a halfling.
No, she's a human woman.
Never mind. I thought she was a halfling.
Yeah, she's a human woman. There's a picture of her. Do I have a picture of the whole barrister?
Yeah.
Over here.
Just her hands thumbed?
Stop moving it.
Sorry.
Can't move it.
Yeah, I moved it over to where everybody was. You can see she's a tall human woman with one hand.
Oh, okay. I thought she was a halfling.
I like those
No.
boobs.
No, she is a human. Very visible. She's wearing a holy symbol Abadar around her neck.
Hmm.
The lawgiver. Yeah, so scratch that. What do you want to say?
No, that's it. I mean, what do you think about what you do?
And she sighs and just says, "It's a job. It's very little effort. I get to, I don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing it, and it pays well. And as you say, it's legal. It's the law." Toss me a sense motive check, Mr. Nero, and I guess Vors too. Why not?
Because I'm there, sensing motives.
You are there, and you are sensing motives. It's true.
+3.
+3, 26 and 25. Both of you believe she is lying when she says that.
What did she say? I was looking at something different.
She says, it's a job, it pays well, it's the law. You can tell that she's lying when she thinks that's what she thinks about it. About slavery in general and what she does.
Mm.
Interesting.
Do we get the sense that Ursula thinks that she's sincere in that?
Let me roll another dice. With those, yes, you believe that Ursula believes that Mazel believes what she said.
Does she notice that I noticed that she didn't notice that she noticed?
That's another sense motive check to notice if you notice that you noticed. But again, so Mazel said what she said. You believe she's lying. You believe that Ursula believes she's telling the truth. Anybody want to do anything else?
You know, it's not as though it's it's not as though we're sowing chaos with what we're doing. We're doing stuff legally. It's not as though we're bellflowers, right?
The barrister nods, and she says, "Yeah, anything in service of the law." And she looks towards Ursula, who nods along.
All right. Well, you and I will be in contact. Where can I call on you?
Oh, you're asking Ursula specifically?
Yes. Yes. So Nero will get all that out of the way so that it's easy
Yeah.
to locate her in the future.
Yeah,
Blah,
it's
blah.
somewhere in the Five Favors district. But yeah, so she gives you the location of her office, where she works.
So Nero will be pleasant and fluff Vors as much as he can and talk law with old what's her face, and that's it.
Old what's her face.
You know what I mean?
Old Ursula.
Give me a diplomacy check for your fluffery.
You know what a fluffer is, right?
I know what a fluffer is. I know what Nero's doing. It's fine.
I'm asking, like, Chris is Chris asking Nero, or sorry, us. Yeah, that'd be great.
He does a really great job getting you ready, buddy.
Oh my god!
Yes, yes, I'm aware of what a fluffer is. That was the point.
Okay.
Of the joke. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know where your knowledge did with things.
You don't know where Nero's head's at.
Right. So Nero extricates himself, and Ursula also dismisses herself as well. So it's just you and the barrister at this point. Anything you want to say specifically to her?
Basically, like, all right, like Vorza would talk to her and just like, just mention, like, just ask, like, did Nero strike a nerve there when he brought up the bellflowers? It seemed a little off, or I don't know. Basically, I'm fucking tired because I always.
It's not like 8 p.m. where you are, right? 7.
No, it's like 7:15. I woke up at 5 this morning without an alarm. Like, I'm night owl at all. It's like very gratuitous that we are in the time zones that we all are.
All right, yeah. So you asked if he struck a nerve with mentioning the bellflowers, and she shakes her head and says, "No, why would he? They're nowhere around here, as far as I'm aware."
It's okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I was mistaken. I thought I picked up on something.
She shakes her head, and says, "No, they haven't messed up with our business in years, generations, perhaps."
Oh, our business? What do you like? Are you doing business with somebody else?
She just says that. She just gestures broadly. Says the slave trade.
Mm-hmm. I mean, have you heard anything about like what's like the Bellflower Network? Because it's been brought up at like at least one party I've been to this week.
She nods and she says that they tend to go hand in hand with the Glorious Reclamation. Wherever they are, the Reclamation shows up shortly after. It sounds like they seek to liberate slaves as part of their revolution. And he says, certainly you've seen that in Cantaria. It's like the first thing they do.
Sure, but I guess like it would be impressive if they were able to like gain a foothold here and start to grow roots.
Perhaps, but she says the slave market's so large that the courts are so powerful. The Order of the Scourge is rooting out people constantly. Toss me a sense motive check.
38.
Yeah. So when she mentions the Order of the Scourge, you can tell that there's some odd hesitation. She says, yeah, the Order of the Scourge is rooting out people constantly. There's no way that anyone in that organization could survive here.
This is Chris asking. Like, so the Order of the Scourge, they're the ones who like go around and like burn all the like heretical books and like change the like history and stuff, right? And,
I don't think that's them. Is that them? Order of the Scourge. They combat lawless tendencies and mortal hearts with ever-present watchfulness and brutal remedies. So basically, they're like the secret police. They're like they don't burn books. That's the Order of the
the Order of the Rack? No.
Maybe I don't know, but it's not this. It's not Scourge. Scourge is not the book people.
Okay.
Scourge is like the secret police. They go around removing like heretical behavior, unlawful behavior, and although not officially subservient to the queen kind of uses them as something of like a secret police. Like they're not explicitly loyal to the Empire, but they serve the Empire's needs because they're so closely aligned with Hell. So they go out and there's Inquisitors of the Order of the Scourge, and they go out and they root out certain problematic people, rebels, and presumably Bellflower Network people.
Have you ever had a run-in with the Order of the Scourge? Like, known someone who has?
Toss me into the diplomacy check. Why don't you?
39.
Yeah, so she hesitates for a while, and you can tell, like, she's pondering talking to you about it, and she does eventually open up. And she lifts up her hand, the nub where her hand was, and said, they took this.
It took your hand?
She nods.
Why'd they come down on you so hard?
For lying.
Did they know the truth? Or did they just know you were lying?
It seems like they knew the truth at the time and asked me anyway.
Oh, so they removed your hand not for lying, but for showing loyalty to the wrong people.
And she pauses for a moment before nodding. Perhaps.
Well, whatever it was, that thing must have meant a lot to you, for you to give up your hand.
She nods and doesn't say anything.
Was it worth it?
Shakes her head and says no. And you can tell that she's growing despondent and terse.
Like she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Got it.
Either that or she's so emotional she's just caught up in it and she's not engaged.
Yeah. Would it help to talk about these things? Or do you want to stop? Because I don't want to push this, but I'm happy to talk about it with you.
She shrugs and says, "The past is the past. That was many years ago."
Yeah, but these feelings that you have right now are very real in the present.
She laughs and says, old wounds, opening up scars, perhaps, but I don't see the point in that."
Okay. Well, alright, was that here in Agorian?
She nods.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that happened. I hope that... Yeah. Yeah. It's terrible. Chris is at a loss for words, but... yeah, I just have Vor's, basically, try to, talk her back into, reality. About how... I don't know, you can, yeah, maybe distract her with, some stories of his own loss, with his like father. Not necessarily getting into the fucked up details of his family dynamics, but yeah, and like basically like talk about we can tell the story about how he lost his eyesight and how that like doesn't like even compare and like compare to that.
You lost your eyesight looking at a nymph.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Like,
most
you
beautiful
know,
woman you've seen literally blinded you is how that happens.
yeah. No, like you basically play that up and be like, yeah, that doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah, and you can tell that she lingers on it for a while, but she seems somewhat eager to move away from it once you start talking about other things. You can tell it again, like it's definitely something that's affected her greatly. But as you begin moving on, she seems somewhat eager to move along with you. And you do. And with that roll like that, yeah, you basically guide her out of that. Alright. And anything else you want to do with her?
Basically just like tell her that and it kind of closed with like if she ever found herself in a similar situation that because he doesn't necessarily agree with their methods that he'd be happy to help.
Okay. She nods and says, I hope to never find myself in such a situation again. I live by the law now, and she raises her hand as if swearing by the law.
Yeah. Just in case.
She nods and smiles acceptingly.
Cool. Yeah. No, then Vors will just do his Vors thing. Like try to keep the rest of the night like fairly light and
Okay. The rest of the night at the bar passes without any major event. She's drinking modestly. She's not, going hard tonight. But if you're buying drinks, she's drinking them a little bit. And she stops you when she believes she's had too much. She stops you. So she's trying to stay in control. And what is your end goal for the night?
He'd offer to invite her back to the Lawgiver's Rest, or she declines, and he'll offer to walk her home.
All right. Let me roll some things. Okay. Yeah, she is not drunk. And she does agree to go with you to the Lawgiver's Rest.
Woohoo! All right.
Yeah, so you successfully connected with her in such a way that she does want to head back with you tonight.
Cool.
So she'll head back. So you guys are here at Essex Gardens. You got to walk all the way back home, but it's fine. So you spend the whole night doing that and going back. And Nero, you extricated yourself from the situation earlier. So what are you doing while all that's transpiring?
Nero will basically be headed back to the gang to get them ready to go out tonight if we're breaking up Niccolo or this warehouse that Dern thinks is a slave haven. So.
All right. So what are you doing specifically? So you go there and you're talking to Bob and Derner there, and Iwan's in her room reading books.
Just come there and basically get them ready for action. That's about it. So I imagine it's not going to be that long.
Joe.
Yeah, buddy.
I probably should check in with my master, right?
Yes, you said you want to do that around sunset. So yeah, so it's after sunset at this point. So yeah, so let's say you left the group, you left the Lawgiver's Rest to go check in with Nas Theratrix.
I'll go with Bob.
You're gonna bring Bob to Parlay Circle?
Of course.
Okay.
Bob's my boy.
Bob's your boy? All right. So at sunset, you show up to Parlay Circle.
Can we bring Corey and Rona with us?
They're
Yeah.
literally your property, so they do what you tell them to do.
Well, I'm just asking if it would be weird to bring them here.
Bringing
Bob,
Bob is weird, but go on.
Bob, listen, just don't say anything unless I address you, because he's a cantankerous motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
All right. Bob slaps both Corey and Rona on the back and says, listen to the man.
And Rona says, "We're still the boys, right?"
Yeah, no, we're all boys, but this is the man.
Okay. And you can tell they're visibly confused, but they're going with it. They've not been treating poorly so far. So you guys head to Parley Circle. It's about sunset, and Nas Theratrix is there, waiting.
Hey, what's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What's up?
And he looks at you and says, like, what do you think this is? What's happening? What's the situation?
Well, this is my friend Bob.
And he looks at Bob, and Bob is very visibly. You're wearing the armor, right?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
You're very visibly like a servant of Moloch. He says, okay. He looks back and says, is he important to what you're doing? And he looks at you as if, like, did you tell him the things?
Yeah, very important. Very important. The key element.
He starts sizing Bob up. He looks at you over. And you're very visibly imposing physically, and
Bob,
your armor clearly identifies you as
Bob flexes.
You flex, yeah.
I flex. My favorite thing to do.
Your favorite thing to do. He's like, oh, okay, but what is he doing to help you figure this out? And again, he's being intentionally vague to ascertain, like, did you tell him all the things you told, like, you know?
The most important person is not here right now, but it's Nero. I think you might know him. He seems pretty popular around here.
He shakes his head, says, who's Nero and why is he important?
Nero is of House Nero?
He shakes his head as if he has no idea what that means.
He's like I don't know, he's a really smart guy, well-read, lawmaker, I guess, but he is infiltrating her much better than I could.
Infiltrating her, how? And what do you know? What did you learn today?
What did I learn today? I learned something. That she has a friend.
A friend? What's her name? Or what's their name?
I don't know. I can. I'll bring Nero tomorrow, and he'll tell you.
You don't know, and he looks like astonished, and he glances at Bob and then back to you. He's like, "So, what are you doing? Where is this friend? What do you know about this friend?"
Nero's a great
her
guy.
friend, the barrister's friend.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's Nero. I'll bring him tomorrow. Don't worry. Everything's fine.
He seemed like stupefied at what's going on. He's just like, so what? You have your friends doing all this for you? You're not there. You're not like, are they there now? And it's sunset.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I'm not around there. I have different skills. I don't go to dinner dates.
And he rubs his face as he's very visibly stressed out. He's like, we told you to just to follow her. Follow her, figure out where she's going, who she's talking to. That's all you had to do. You don't have those skills, you can't do that.
There's tabs being kept on her. Listen, I don't know why you're breaking my balls here. Things are happening. You don't need to get in the way of it.
And again, he's just stupefied with this. He's just, I don't understand.
I promise you that by the end of the week, we'll have this problem solved. We'll get to the root of the flower.
He gets in a little closer and talks quietly as if, like, to not talk to Bob, like, how many people have you told about this?
Can Bob hear that?
Make a perception check.
Oh, what the hell?
What the hell?
I don't own Bob.
Oh, yeah, because you have, like, a different name now. Because you can't, it's impossible for you to keep the same name.
I was like, what the hell is an impersonate?
Alright, try now.
Nope.
Yeah, you can't hear it. So yeah, he gets close and he whispers, and you can definitely tell he's whispering. And he asks her,
Can my slaves hear it?
roll a d20 twice. No, even with the 17, they can't.
Ooh.
They can tell that he's whispering, but again,
Just near.
Hmm?
Just Nero. I told just Nero.
is that truthful?
No.
Then make a bluff check.
Rolling dice tonight, boys.
Rolling dice.
Oh my
let me pull up the tab.
Christ.
No, that's me. That's my dice.
Oh.
It's my sense motive roll. So it's gonna be good for Bob or Dern probably. No,
Oh,
it's not. Yeah, so he can tell that you're lying. He's like, how many people did you tell about this, Dern? And he's not quiet anymore.
Bob says, tell about what?
He
Bob,
looks
I
at
didn't.
you.
I say, listen, Bob, I didn't tell. Bob's cool. Bob and I are on different things. I told.
Why is he here?
I told Vors. I don't know if you know Vors.
He shakes him. Who the fuck is Vors?
No. Force is cool. Force is cool.
Who the fuck is Vors?
Do you want to come back with me to meet these people? Because you don't seem to accept my answers.
He shakes his head. No, I don't want to meet any of these people. I just want you to follow the fucking barrister like I asked you to.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
And he stares down at his drink, like he brings out a cup. And
You brought a drink to the meeting, okay?
how did you become my handler? How does one become my handler?
He shakes his head like he doesn't understand. He's like, what do you mean? I work for the Queen. What do you mean?
Oh, why were you assigned? Why wasn't someone else assigned?
He shakes his head. I don't know. You're mine. You're one of many.
But there's others like you. Just like there's others like me.
He nods and says, yes, of course.
There are others like this guy?
The Queen doesn't own one slave.
No. I know. I'm well aware of that. I'm wondering how you got the job.
He shrugs, says, what do you mean? There are hundreds like you, thousands.
So you were just a number that got another number.
He nods. Isn't everyone just a number who's got another number?
Cheers his drinks.
He does not cheers you. He doesn't have a drink. He seems confused. He's like, what? He's just frustrated. What are you talking about? Why are we... What do you know about the barrister today that you didn't know yesterday?
I know her compadres. Did you know she had a friend?
I assume she has many friends, but no, I did not know who they were.
So, there you go. Write that in your report. I'll see you tomorrow.
He's like, you know she has a friend. You have no idea who the friend is. That's worthless. That's nothing.
Does Dern know at that point?
I don't think you do. I don't think did the name Ursula even come up.
I don't think so. He says,
you
listen.
have no idea.
Vors would have known.
You wouldn't have told me. He says, listen, I'll tell you tomorrow.
And you can tell he's very visibly frustrated. He says, the Queen is not going to like hearing this.
This is Michael talking to Shirok. Why don't you just ask him if he wants to come get a bottle of wine with us?
You ask him.
You said not to talk unless I was addressed, man.
Do I see Bob itching to say something? Bob, do you have something to say to calm this guy down? He seems to be like...
Well, he seems really upset at that he doesn't know who Vors is. Why don't you just come with us? We'll get a bottle of wine. You can meet the crew.
He shakes his head and says, no. I have no idea who the fuck you are. I have no idea why he's talking to you. And he looks at you. Why is he here? And there's two halflings sitting next to him. He's like, why are all of these people here?
Oh, well, this is Corey and this is Rona. I just bought them.
And he looks at, who the fuck are these people?
These guys are slaves, but he's my colleague. Listen, if you don't appreciate my methods, I'm happy to report to someone above you.
Yeah,
I'm doing a good job, but if you don't
it doesn't seem like you're doing a good job. What have you given me? What have you given me in the past 2-3 days? What have you told me about her?
She has a friend, and she works with the bar manager. So I've given you 3 people in the network. You came.
I told you that she worked at that bar. I told you she went to that bar. I sent you there to do that. You've given me nothing.
Did you know?
3 days. You've
Did you
literally
know?
given me nothing.
Did you know the bartender was in on it?
I knew she went to the bar regularly. I didn't know the bartender was in on it, but I assumed
Could have
something
been
was happening at the
could have
clerk's
been the
cloister.
janitor. It could have been the janitor.
It could have been the janitor, he says, like flippantly. Like, it could have been the janitor. It could have been anybody in the bar. All
Do you
had
want to go to
do-
that bar? We can
All
go
you
to
had
that
to
bar
do
and meet the
was
guys.
follow her and tell me who she talks to. And so far, you've given me
Oh,
our
wait.
bartender and
Did I
a
do it?
friend.
Did I tell you about the warehouse full of halflings?
No, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, sorry. I know, Bob. We forgot. There was a
He looks,
warehouse.
he looks at Bob like, what the fuck? And he's losing his mind.
There was a warehouse with halflings. Okay, you know what? Let me come back tomorrow. I'll have a report written. My friend.
Where
will
is
write
the
it.
warehouse full of... Can you even write? He asks at you derisively.
That's rude. That's very rude. That's very rude of you.
Can you? Can you read and write?
And he takes out a paper and he writes, "Yes."
And he says,
Can
where
you
is this
actually?
warehouse? How long have you known about this warehouse?
I don't remember how long I've known about it, but it's
God's
here.
above. He's like grabbing his face and trying to maintain.
Hey, he says, "Listen, it was here. There were people in it, but I checked back like hours later, and there was no one there. So
And he pauses for a moment and then looks at you very seriously. You can tell that he's regained a bit of his composure. And he looks at you and says, did they get to you?
whew.
Who the fuck do you think?
No, Corey and Ron are cool.
like the slave liberators?
He just stares at you. He doesn't respond at all.
No. Come on, I'm not stupid. I tried this once.
It's
Guys,
been-
shut the hell up!
it's-
I just got these two.
It's been days. What the fuck can you tell me about these people?
He says, "Listen, I'll write you a report because I'm not. Clearly, my thoughts aren't organized."
And he's just staring at you now coldly and like just very seriously. He's sizing you up.
Dern just like, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow," and he starts like slowly walking away.
He does not stop you, but you can tell he's genuinely not happy. And he definitely suspects you as being something other than a loyal servant of the queen via slavery.
He says, "Okay."
You've
And
given
then
him nothing to work with in several days.
He turns to Bob as he leaves. He says, "That guy is a real asshole." Eh?
So while Darren's walking away, Bob's like, "So, do you have any tips for driving slaves, or?" No? Yes?
Does Dern not have any tips for driving?
No, I'm not asking Darren. I'm asking
He's
Naz
asking,
Theratrix.
Oh, I'm
Naz
sorry.
Theratrix.
So Naz Theratrix is basically just like sternly looking at Dern, who is walking away, and then Bob interjects and says,
Yeah.
"Do you have any tips for driving slaves?"
Yeah. I'm new to the business myself.
He just looks at you and says, "Do not spare the rod." And he looks at that. He looks at Dern walking away. He's like, "That one was spared far too much, for my opinion."
Bob grabs the hammer and kind of like shows him the hammer, and he's like this?
He nods.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, thanks. And then just walks away.
He's not happy. Joe laughed. He didn't laugh. He's just staring at Dern as he walks away. He's extremely angry.
Bob is sprinting to catch up to Darren. I assume some time had passed.
It's true, and you move the same speed because he's a halfling and you're in full plate. So there you go.
I'm super fast though.
Are you? Oh, he's even faster than you. You really do have to.
Yeah, I'm super fast.
All right.
When I get back, I meet up with Nero.
Okay, so you head back to Lawgiver's Rest, and Nero is there after having done with Dern, done with the Vors at the bar. And Joe needs the pee, so we'll take a break real quick. Everybody can take a quick bio if you want. Be right back. All right.
I mean, I don't think it matters. I'm stuck. So
I feel really
I would
bad.
like to
No.
see you guys. I'd like to see you guys bust up the mayor's son dude.
You don't want to go
That
and
was
do that?
interesting.
You don't want to participate in murdering a innocent son of the mayor?
We're gonna
It is
frame
I,
the.
Jeff, very much want to do that.
We're
But
gonna frame the
my
slaves.
Well, I think if Iwan's going to go on any adventure and is going to be scried doing something, it should probably be destroying someone who is partaking or participating in like whatever ritual. Just
Devil worship, yeah.
like
He makes a startling point. You know, if you wanted to go along with that, that would be the item to go along with.
well, convince
I just-
Iwan. Iwan
Yeah, I
doesn't really
want you
know
back on
very
the
much
road.
about any of that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't even understand anything about it.
Jeff know
Me-
a lot
me-
about that. Iwan has been confined to her room and knows nothing about anything. So come
Me-
convince
me-
Iwan.
Nero would have to do that because Vors doesn't know about Iwan's predicament.
Also, Vors is out to dinner. So basically, Vors is hanging out later with the barrister specifically. So Nero arrives back. So that all the stuff we just did happens. Bob and Dern come back. It's after sunset, so it's dinner time. And again, she has dinner every day. Lavassia has dinner at Lawgiver's Rest if you want to eat there. And Nero shows up slightly late for dinner. So dinner is kind of wrapping up, but it's not late enough that he can't get a plate.
I'm gonna rush Nero.
And everybody else is already there. And Vors is still on his date.
I'm gonna rush Nero out the door.
Rushing
Well,
out
well,
the door.
No, rush him at the door. Like as soon as I see him, I'm
Oh.
gonna run up to him.
And do what?
Good lord,
Hey,
what?
I need some help.
With what?
Okay, so I know that we just met, but I really need you to do me a favor.
What do you need me to do?
My master, he's very bad. He's stupid. And,
Your master. Your
handler or whatever.
I'm not sure what your overlord or whatever the term is. I don't know. Go on.
A number controlling a number. I've learned a lot.
Your
in the past-
overseer.
Yes, I've learned a lot in the past few days about this lady, but I don't. I can't really put together my thoughts very well. You know,
This lady?
the barrister.
Oh, okay. You want me to meet with this person?
Well, if you can meet with him tomorrow and also write a report, and put my name on it. No, if you can write him a report, that would be great. Because he
Something
thinks
explaining-
now I'm.
Something
Yeah, like, what's
explaining
going
your
on?
involvement?
He doesn't even know who you are. Everyone we go around knows who you are, but he doesn't.
I'll either meet with him or write you something that explains our involvement if this isn't something that's taken care of in the next day. How's that?
That's great, thank you. And please work on becoming my handler because I can't handle these people.
I don't know that that's the role for me, but if it falls in my lap, if I can corral that one, I can corral you.
I want to do it.
I would love to own you. Just so we're clear, I would love to own you. That would be great for me.
Thank you, Nero. Devil House Nero.
Iwan, a moment of your time.
Iwan folds up her book, puts it down, and looks at Nero.
So Nero basically will pull her aside into someplace private and very quietly bring up the idea that there's some sort of devil worship going on that they're looking to root out. This might be a good thing for you to break your sequester on.
You're talking about the sissy that this woman was gonna kill? That guy?
The what?
The sissy. Right? Isn't this guy supposed to be like this nobody weakling thing? This guy is doing devil worship?
Are we talking about the same guy?
I think
So-
so, aren't we? This is good. This is going to be the next.
When Vorse gets
one
back,
that
when Vorse gets
Yeah.
back, I want you to talk to Vorse because I think this is a good thing for you to get out with. I don't want to be involved, but they're going to need support.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'll hear it out. It sounds weird.
Anyhow, let's
did
go
you get my
right. I did. I'll tell you about it
Don't.
shortly.
Yeah. Don't talk too much. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I did it this afternoon. I'll tell you more about it shortly. When I put
Okay.
it
Yeah.
in
I
the
mean,
chat.
write it, and stand far away from me, and that'll work.
Big letters, got it.
Yeah. Big letters.
Anyhow,
yeah,
Nero will
send-
send over for plate and wait for.
Send in
Yeah.
Vors when he's around.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go grab a plate and wait on Vorse.
Okay. So it becomes a little later in the night, and Vorse comes back with a one-handed woman. So let's just say it's late evening now. It's like 10 or 11 p.m. Dinner is closed, but there's always a bunch of people hanging out at the Lawgiver's Rest. I'll take you to that map. I think you're all there. So I still haven't changed like the NPCs that are hanging out. But just imagine it's sparser than it appears to be. And I have music for the Lawgiver's Rest. Not that it really matters. I can turn off his Durin music.
This music got good.
What's up with the Illuminati symbol in the bottom right-hand corner?
That's the Dungeony logo, which is like a map-making community. They have a tool and a map-making community around it. And
Oh, all right.
a lot of free maps you see and a lot of the assets I use are from there. So, hey, if you are watching and you care, go to dungeony.com or whatever it is. Google Dungeony. I don't know what their website actually is off the top of my head. Google it. They're a great map-making community, and I steal a lot of their maps.
How do you spell that?
DUNJNINNI.
All right.
Probably misspelled it, but yeah.
You did.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Dungeony. DUNDJINI. It's like Dungeon Ginny, like a dungeon genie. Genies
.com.
.com. And if you Google Dungeony and like anything you want, like you could do to Google Dungeony Tavern, you get a map like this. So it's very useful for quick maps.
Also, flat tummy tea, good for trimming up your waistline. Look like a Kardashian.
Yeah.
Get that big ol' ass out there. Anyway,
Yeah. So you guys all Vorse comes walking in with the barrister, the alleged barrister. And who's out in the bar area? Who's still hanging out at tables at night?
Nero is out there with a pile of documents and will be waiting on, yes, but he's basically writing up documents on nonsense for Ursula.
Is there anybody in there that has a fucking warehouse?
No. So primarily the people that are in this place are other Thrune agents that were sent back. Lavasvia basically volunteered her in to be used by the Queen to house the influx of Thrune agents when the Queen summoned everybody back. So no, the people you talk to don't own property in Agorian.
Interesting.
Do you want to have a lovely conversation with Mr. Aelith again?
Hey, Joe, does that druid,
No.
the giant constrictor snake, possibly own a warehouse?
I don't believe he owns a warehouse. Maybe you should strike up a conversation with the druid who has the giant constrictor snake.
So you're literally at a bar shouting like, does anyone own a warehouse here?
Yeah.
That's Bob. Remember, he got naked on top of a table like 3 days ago.
It was like,
He's like,
a
I'm
90%
hurt,
meter
somebody
doom.
heal me, and he got naked on a table, because that's what Bob does.
I forgot Bob did that.
I don't think I was there for that.
That might have been a session you skipped, but it happened, I swear it. So Nero's out there. Iwin moved herself to the room, so I assume she's not out there. Dern and Bob, are you in the bar area? Well, Bob is asking people if they have a warehouse. He's drunk and asking people if they have a warehouse.
I'll be with his slaves, and I'll set them up for bedtime.
You're gonna put the slaves to bed.
Yeah, like I'll roll them a little blanket on the floor. They can sleep in my room.
Okay.
They're small. I'm small.
They are small. All right. So Nero walks in, or sorry, Vors walks in with the barrister. I should copy her from the other map. I'll do that. The alleged barrister. And Dern, I thought you said you rushed him at the. You rushed Nero at the door. Never mind. Okay, so this is later at night. You're putting the slaves to sleep. Nero, Vors, you walk in, and again, it's kind of died down a bit from its usual height. People are going to bed, but it's late enough that people are asleep, so it's kind of less populated than it has been. But there are still a bunch of people drinking, and as you walk in, they look up.
Vors would go to Mr. Aelith and ask for a bottle of wine or whatever. Yeah, ask for a bottle of Chelish wine to be brought.
Ask him for the 25 gold wine.
Are you asking for a nice bottle of wine, or what kind of? He does ask you, like, what vintage? What are you looking for?
I mean, something like decent, not like super, like, I don't know, like something good, but not like ostentatious.
Right. So there's common wine, which is 2 silver, and there's fine wine, which is 10 gold. So you're looking for common wine, or are you looking for fancy wine?
Fancy wine.
All right, so you're spending 10 gold on wine. So yeah, so that's not kept at the bar. So yeah, he does go back and get it from the basement, and procures it for you and hands it to you. He's like, "Would you like me to pour?"
No, just 2 glasses, please.
Okay. He nods and provides them.
And Boris would bring that back to his room, where Dern is not.
Where Dern is not. Yes.
I guess like you would try to catch Nero's eye at the bar and like just kind of nod to him, let him like just make sure that like Nero sees that like he's back and like that he's there, and not out somewhere else.
Nas raised his hand and is talking, but is on mute.
He is on mute. It's true.
I was beatboxing.
Oh.
No, I wasn't beatboxing.
Or beatboxing.
At some point, Iwan's going to need a moment of your time. It's nice to see you again, Maisel. I'm working on a pile of documents about what we talked about.
She nods and she kind of just looks at the documents. She can't tell much from the distance, but she can tell that they are legal documents and you're not lying to her. And you can tell she's happy. She's nodding. She's very happy you're doing that.
I was going to need a moment of my time this evening.
Whenever you can make time. About breaking her fast, whatever the Baron charged you with, she, I think, would be interested in helping you with that.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Can you believe those? Can you believe those idiots bought slaves?
Oh my god.
And Maisel looks up. Who bought what?
These.
Don't worry about it.
They're blunt. They're muscle, hired muscle.
And she looks at Forrest and says, "Who is he talking about?"
Bob and like this weird little friend that he made recently. I mean, Bob is this like, he's a doofus, but he's.
Ouch.
And she's looking at you curiously, but you can tell she doesn't seem to care. I guess make a sense motive check.
Bob called you a good guy before.
It's true. He called you a good guy. Boris, make a sense motive check.
Boris does not love him at all.
Wow. The truth is coming out, y'all.
God.
Also, if he plays you up as a clod, he
Oh.
doing have to talk about you. If he says you're a great guy, she's going to want to hear about it.
Where's my character?
Here. Vors is here.
All right, love you.
You're at the door. And I make a bluff check, not a thing to check, and I make it secretly because I'm a better person than that.
+3.
That's supposed to be secret, you stupid tool.
Tied.
You tied, which means you succeed. So yeah. So she's trying to put off this air of like, oh, I ultimately don't care about this. But you can tell she seems somewhat concerned that some of your friends own slaves.
Yeah. I don't. He bought them today. I'm gonna have to deal with it tomorrow.
Deal with what?
This isn't the first time that he's gone off and done something ill-advised. It won't be the last.
What else has he done? Who is this Bob?
He helped us with a few things in Cantaria and Sonari. He's proved generally useful. Doesn't always make things easier, but it's net positive.
You can tell that she seems uneasy about this whole thing, but is, whatever is whatever.
Yep. So,
The operations of,
what's that? Go ahead, Nero.
I was going to say the operations of a bar. He's the bouncer at said bar. If our partnership is a bar, he's the bouncer at the bar. So sometimes you have to help him make better life decisions.
She looks at you, Nero, and back at Vors and says, so he was with you in Cantaria?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he helped us.
Been with us a lot of places, yeah.
And
He
he was
he
okay
helped-
with what you've done there?
Yeah, he helped us set it up.
He helped you set it up. She looks surprised.
Well, not really like set it up, but he helped put things into motion that we then like wrapped up and put a nice little bow on.
She seems confused, but thinks on it for a moment. And she says, and he bought slaves yesterday?
No,
Today.
Today.
And she says, she looks back at Nero and asks, is he a good master? And Nero's on mute. He ran away.
But yes, I am.
Sorry, I was
The
Getting a drink
barrister
in the-
asks you, is Bob a good master, as you presented yourself?
he's sort of a bumbler. I imagine that I'm gonna end up doing a lot more wrangling with these two individuals that he's brought than he will, because I don't think he's got the follow through. So in a word, no, but yes.
You can tell she
Oh,
seems
that's pretty
she
well.
seems visibly uncomfortable by this whole situation. But she shakes her head.
Just like always, I'm going to end up cleaning it up, just like always.
She shrugs and says, "Fair enough." And Vors has a bottle of nice wine. Anything else that you want to talk about before Vors does whatever Vors does?
I can't believe y'all hate Bob so much.
Bob didn't hear any of that. You're over there shouting about.
Oh, Michael, cannot believe.
Yeah, Michael's hurt.
Michael, understand that everything Nero's saying is a statement that's meant to cut things off. Every single statement he's made, watch the transcript. Everything is stop this. I want this subject to end. I want this subject to end. I want this subject to end.
He doesn't like you.
But do you want your heart to end with Bob? Do you love Bob?
If he loved you, he would have defended you, Bob. Is all I'm saying.
That's
I can't further comment on anything Nero is interested in because that's none of your business.
all right. That's fair.
Fair enough.
It's legal to feel that way.
Oh god. All right. So Nero and Vors, anything else you guys are talking about, or what's the goal for
No, or just like be trying to end the conversation and like ask her if she'd like to retire for the evening.
She would. So you go to Vors' room where Dern is not.
Mhm.
Explicitly.
Explicitly. There's like a separate room for you. Yeah, whatever. And yeah, you do your Vors thing.
At the room with the big bed. Just
Sure, we can move Brexter out of that one.
in the corner.
Which room? Which room do you want? The bottom room?
Yeah, Dern knows. Everybody knows what's up.
All right. So Vors is Vors. Yeah. So she's very happy with you. She's been flirting the whole night, and again she was able to maintain herself to not be drunk. Let me make another fortitude save now that you guys are drinking more wine. Yeah, so she is able to maintain not being drunk the whole time, and she seems genuinely interested in you, and you perform admirably, as is your wont. And she retires with you. You guys have a great time.
Mhm.
Anybody else doing anything for the night?
Is that it, or are we not going out tonight?
I don't know. He's retired for the night, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how.
No, once she's like tucked in, like asleep, you would sneak out.
You would abscond in the night.
I'd leave her a note.
He's coming back. She's in his room. He's coming back.
Yeah.
All right,
Does
make
she
a
want-
stealth check, Mr. Vors, to make sure
Does
you
she
don't.
want halflings to cuddle with?
Yeah, so Vors sneaks out of the room successfully. And then what? What are you guys doing?
He's gonna go talk to Iwan.
Bird.
Walks into Iwan's room. Iwan, who is presumably poring over books.
Yeah, probably still. Yeah.
You said you want help with the thing.
Well, I don't know what the thing is really. Nero said that you saw some weird thing with that, I don't know, clean-cut, weak guy that the owner of this place is going to kill someday.
He's like taking some serious fucking devil rights and is way more powerful than we anticipated. So I'm gonna need your help.
Yeah. Nero was talking about that a little bit. What did you see? She's trying to get you to describe the details that you saw of because the party still hasn't figured out what the actual thing was, has it? Have we?
No, everything is secondhand through Vors. So Vors didn't know what it was, and he described it to Nero. And based on the description, Nero believes it was some sort of empowering ritual, but he has no idea what it is based on Vors' description.
Okay, and Nero didn't tell that to Iwan. So yeah, so Iwan was trying to get Vors to describe what he saw.
All right, Vors, make a knowledge check to basically recall how much you remembered about it and what you knew about what you remembered. And then Iwan also make one to see what you understand of how he describes it. This is knowledge, planes, or arcana. It is planes, yeah. So Vors describes it rather poorly. He basically describes there was a pentagram on the floor. She was walking around him chanting something. He can't recall any of the words. She was walking around him. I'm certain she was a cleric of Asmodeus, he reveals, but he can't give you anything super useful. You rolled very well, but based on what Vors has told you, you cannot figure out what he's talking about. You're certain that there's some sort of they're not summoning something. They're doing something to him based on what he described. The pentagram being carved on his chest and also on the floor. They're doing something to him. They're infusing him with something, but you have no idea based on his description because it's he doesn't know enough about devil magic to tell you.
Okay. So Iwan will kind of like look at her book and look back at Vors, look back at the book, rub her eyes a little bit, I don't think I'm going to be making that much more progress with this tonight anyway. I've been staring at this fucking thing all day. Why not? Let's go out. We can get some more information on what's going on. Who else is coming with us?
We should probably bring everybody.
Okay. I don't know. Nero's going to be interested based on what he said to me, but we can try.
It'd be nice if he was just waiting outside. We could patch us up if we need it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. As far as I'm concerned, we might just be going to find out more information.
This is true. Pretty sure Nero knows better now. That's true.
All right, so are you going to go talk to Nero? Nero's still at the bar.
Yep. You'll talk to Nero.
Are you going to rouse the others as you go there? Because, Durin's putting the slaves to sleep and all.
I'm going to wait outside while you rouse the others. I don't.
Right.
I want to keep as much of this under wraps as possible.
Okay.
Good. Boris would talk to Bob. Be like, hey, Bob, you want to go do your Bob thing?
Yeah, I think it's time that we do the Bob thing.
All right. Then, yeah, Boris would go at Nero if he's willing to help.
Yeah, always. Is there money?
I'll give you some money.
What's your name?
All right. You come talk to me, or
Is Dern out of the bar?
Dern's in his room? But if you want to come, are you coming to wake me up?
Oh, Bob, where's Dern?
Dern, he's sleeping with my slaves.
Like mating?
No, just sleeping.
Oh, okay. Do you think we should bring him?
I think we should.
Okay.
I think we should bring one of the slaves too, to be honest with you.
Why?
Well,
No,
so-
Bob, no slaves tonight, except for Dern.
all right, let's get Dern. We have to be quiet though, so someone else should wake him up. Because I'm not quiet.
Dern's not actually sleeping when you come in. He's telling ghost stories to his slaves. He's telling them scary stories. Mostly based on his terrible life.
All right, Bob says stop scaring them.
You see him under a blanket. He comes out. Okay, are we doing a thing?
Yeah, we got to do a thing. Come on, man.
Is there money?
There's always money.
Okay. You two stay here. You didn't say anything. Keep quiet.
The slaves nod, somewhat confused, but
Bob
happy
looks at the
to
two
go to
slaves and
sleep.
says, "Good night."
Good night.
While Bob was doing that, Boris would talk to Nero and be like, hey, Nero, remember that favor that you said you needed?
I'm happy to aid you in whatever endeavor you're undertaking.
And Dern comes in. Huzzah!
Fantastic. We're going to need you.
Fine.
So we all head out and collect that one on the way out.
All right. Yeah, she left the front door or whatever. She's outside waiting for you. So everybody goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And where are you going?
To the place.
The
With
place. What's the
with
place?
the guy.
I don't know. I can't see the fucking map.
Where are you going?
Niccolo Lazario's flat, motherfucker.
Niccolo
Ooh,
Alzario's
Burn.
flat.
Hero point.
This fucking guy.
Veto point.
So you
Oh
get
yeah,
that.
yeah. We should talk about that this session too.
What,
What's that?
Bijo points?
Pijo points.
I think I like the idea of BJ points being anti-points. I like the idea of him.
But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after.
Okay. All right. So you guys are heading to Nicola Elazario's flat.
Did you prepare for us to do this, Joe?
Yeah, I was prepared for you to do this like 5 sessions ago.
Oh, okay.
This is the story. This is a map made by Paizo for the story.
Oh, this is real.
This is real.
Story?
Everyone
this
gear up.
is a storyline, and this map is part of it. Enjoy.
I don't know.
Oh, we need combat music.
Dun, dun, dun,
We do.
dun, dun,
We do.
Dun, 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 dun,
I don't have
dun,
any good.
dun.
This is not Mission Impossible. This is like we're storming the fucking front. Like, don't-
I got it. Don't worry.
You got it. I've got battle music.
What's wrong with Mission Impossible for Storm in the Front?
We already played that for the jailbreak.
Whatever. You can reuse songs. They made multiple movies.
No, I can't. I'm using this one.
Dun, dun. Look at that mask.
Plague Bringer or Plague Doctor. Anyway, who knows if there's even a battle? You might just sit there and talk for an hour, and then we'll call a session.
I'm coming to kill someone.
Yeah, no, but Bob's here for murder, so if
Yeah,
Nero's gonna talk,
someone's getting
Nero's
murdered.
also getting murdered.
Yeah,
So-
someone's catching a murder.
Okay, so this is a place you've been before. So, go ahead. Sorry.
Is this room on the first floor, or is it like elevated?
What room are you referring to? Sorry.
Like this like
That's
the main
elevated.
the main
That's on the second
is
floor.
elevated.
So this is like a
Okay.
big like patio, and then you go up a flight. So it's at least 10 feet up until you get to like this apartment, this flat up here. And there are windows, but they are 10 feet up. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you've been here before. Vors at one point was staring at this window for a very long time, and this is where he watched the Nicola Lazario and an alleged cleric of Asmodeus performing some sort of ritual around a pentagram with candles. And there's all sorts of pillows and stuff laying around the room. And I think he watched for several hours as they performed this ritual, and then eventually retired to the room. So when they were doing this, was that yesterday, Vors? I believe so. I think you were looking here yesterday.
I believe so.
It is so. It's still it's late at night, but it is still early enough that they were doing this at this time yesterday. They were still
Yeah, it
performing
would-
the ritual.
yeah, it was yesterday.
Yes.
It's been a long couple days.
Yeah. So it is basically slightly before midnight. We'll say like 11:30, and at this point they were still performing the ritual. And anybody who's anybody in this world knows that the holy time of devils is midnight. So Asmodeus and Moloch and everybody, they're like when you pray to get your spells and all their power, when their power is highest, is midnight. So you believe this is prime time for them to be doing that sort of a ritual.
And for us to be attacking them, perfect.
I mean, if you want to attack them when the devils are strongest, yes.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Always. Most money.
So Vors leads you here, and Dern and Bob, you were here watching him last time. You were all snorting Zerk off coins in an alleyway nearby, while Vors peeping Tom through a window for several hours, and then walked away.
I'm gonna snort more Zerk before I go into this fight.
Do you have more Zerk? How much Zerk did you
Bob?
buy last time?
We bought 2 each, so
Okay, so you've got it. You each got a Zerk. So snort it, and then are you willingly becoming addicted to it, or are you going to resist it?
Resist.
So make a fortitude save.
Bob might pray to Moloch and get buff. Let's see what we can do here.
You can pray to Moloch. How does that even work?
What do you mean I can pray to Moloch?
What does that mean?
What do you mean? I'll just say some words and.
Make your fort saves, Dern. Well, Bob figures out how to pray.
I'm just trying to figure out. I'm looking for a prayer here.
It's cool. We got like 45 minutes to figure out how your prayers
All right, fine. Fuck it. I'll just take some drugs. Give me the drugs. Give me the drugs. I don't want to be on this planet anymore.
35 fort save.
failing
Fuck
forward.
you.
I'm
You're not
failing
addicted
the
to
fourth save. Let's go. I love drugs.
What
Dern is a-
are you talking about? What do you want to do? Cast divine favor before you go in. Cast bull strength before you run up the stairs. What do you want?
Let me get bull strength. Yeah, I'll take bull strength.
You gonna cast bull strength on yourself?
Yeah.
How's it feel to have another person like running your character for you? Is that
Well, I was gonna pray for the god powers, but all right, whatever.
what
we can go.
god power? What does that even mean? All
I
of
was-
these are god powers. You pray.
I was a god for like an hour. All right, here we go.
You were. I went is tapping herself. on the page.
Before we leave, Nero takes out a small platinum ring and puts it over Bob's finger
Ooh.
and says, "Don't get me killed, okay?"
Are you proposing to me?
No, he's casting Shield Other on you so that he eats half of your damage.
Oh. That might be a mistake, but okay.
He asked you not to get him killed. Be very specific, and he can turn it off at any time.
Okay.
That's pretty powerful, though.
Sounds kind of like you're proposing to me. If you're gonna take half my damage.
I'm gonna take half your stuff. Yes.
Nice.
Third blood rage. So he snorts some Zerk, and he enters some sort of rage.
While everybody's doing their preparations, Iwan will turn herself invisible and teleport up to the to peek in herself.
Right, so you're invisible for 11 minutes, presuming it's the regular invisibility spell. And you do see Nicola Alizario is in the center of a pentagram, and there is a woman dressed very visibly as a cleric Asmodeus. She got the holy symbol around her neck, and she is walking around in a circle, and she is chanting. Make a knowledge check. Make a perception check too to see how you hear through the glass.
Sure.
Yeah. So you're certain that this is some sort of a blood ritual. Again, he has a pentagram carved on his chest, and he's actively bleeding from it. And Iwan is certain that basically they're doing some sort of a blood ritual to awaken a power within him, to not just infuse something, like they're not infusing devil souls into him, they're awakening something from within him. They're trying to release something from within him. You don't think they're conjuring or anything like that. They're basically making him stronger as a result of this ritual. And you know a bit more than what you did before, but not a whole lot. So you're not sure exactly what's going on, but they're definitely infusing him. They're releasing something within him. They're empowering him somehow. And she continues walking around in a circle as he's just kind of in the center, just bleeding and just kind of like visibly like trying to like amp himself up. He's just trying to like visibly like gain more energy.
Does Iwan know how long such rituals usually take to be effective?
You believe that after several hours, a couple like 2 to 3 hours of doing this a day, you would become stronger, and doing this over long periods of time would make you much, much stronger. Like, this isn't something that takes a year and then kicks in. This is something you just do constantly. It's like working out, basically.
Okay.
He's getting swole.
Oh, sweet.
Is there anything else in the room besides him, her, and the pentagram and these like
Pillows.
bags? Like, are there books?
Yeah,
in
they're
there?
like beanbag type pillows. There's a table over here. What else are you looking for? Sorry.
Just like any books or anything that would suggest that she could like figure out what's on the binding or something.
Any books invisibly in the room? Is that what you're asking?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like any that, I mean, basically, like she's looking to see if she can find something that would suggest any more about what this is.
No, you don't see any books or anything visible that's going on. She definitely has a holy symbol of Asmodeus that she clutches occasionally as she's talking, which is basically just the pentagram. But she's walking around just chanting, and you don't see any books or anything. She's not referencing anything else. So no.
Okay. And then last question: does Iwan know anything that like would undo or kind of like throw a wrench in the gears of what's going on. Any types of spells, like magic circles, anything like that.
Well, you definitely believe this is evil, so you believe magic circles against evil and dispel evil and protection from evil would be beneficial in this. You're not sure. You're not sure so much about undoing what's been done. You do believe that if you interrupted them, a dispel magic could undo the infusing that's currently happening, but wouldn't undo previous things. Again, you think this is something he does daily to gain power, and you can't strip away what he's already gained, but you could interrupt what's happening now.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So, I would confirm with the group that they're still in there, they're doing it again. And that we should move quickly before it takes hold.
Is this a residential area, Joe?
Yeah, these are all like apartments and flats. It's a fairly decent neighborhood, but not like upper class.
What kind of noise is going on in the streets at this time of night?
Not a whole lot. It's fairly quiet. Again, it's just like it's 11:30 at night, so not a whole lot is going on.
Okay.
What's the plan? Who's doing what?
Let me know when it's time. I'm going to start sending things in with you.
All right. Hey, Bob, you want to take point?
Don't shoot me.
I will not shoot you.
Yes, don't shoot him.
Yeah, don't shoot Nero.
What are you sensing?
Well, I think the other part of the question is: do we want to take them on their turf, or do we want to flush them out and take them out here?
We should probably be discreet.
I don't know.
You're sending me in first.
He's the one with the pentagram on his chest. Do we need to be discreet?
Nothing illegal about that here.
Yeah.
You gotta be discreet.
More discreet than the street.
Alright, that's fair.
So, Darren, actually, do you want to go knock on the door? When they open it, Bob, you can just rush them.
Well, and probably maybe an arrow through the window could be good.
Darren, yeah. Darren is blood raging, so he's like, he's waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, Darren, go knock on the door. Bob, you'll rush them once it's when they open it, and just take it from there.
Hold
You
on.
want me to bring them out?
Just a moment. Let me get set up and then go in. Nero, as quietly as he can, he basically says, start coughing, Boris.
Oh, dude, gross. Cover that.
I need sound. I need sound. And Nero will start casting as soon as you start coughing loudly.
Ugh.
And what is Nero casting?
Nero's casting Summon Monster 2.
What are you summoning?
He's summoning 1d3 plus 1 dogs.
Dogs.
Is my devil with us right now?
You have a devil? When did you get a devil?
I thought I had a devil.
When did you ever get a devil?
You were supposed to pray for him.
Oh, right. I forgot to do the prayer.
Alright, so roll 1d3, like 2 dogs. He gets 2 dogs, everybody.
Oh, but
One.
So Nero tells them to bark and fight.
Alright. How do you
And
tell
they
them
start
that?
barking.
They're dogs.
He tells the two of them to start fighting, and they start barking and fighting.
How do you command a dog? It's not like an
Yeah,
elemental. You
I
can't
can
speak Terran.
Yell
I can
attack.
command them.
Can you
I
command?
can
them?
command them to attack each other. Yeah.
Okay. Can you?
It attacks your opponents to the best of its ability.
So you're declaring each dog a different opponent?
Or I could have them tear up some trash or something like that. Would that be better for
That
you?
trash is my enemy. Destroy the trash. Yes.
Break open that bag. Yes.
All right. So yeah. So they go off, and they're making quite a spectacle. They're barking a lot.
So they're making a racket, and Nero casts. While they're making a racket, Nero gets close to the building, casts Blessing of Fervor on you fools, and then says, "Go."
All right. Let's assume
Guys, do the
everybody
thing.
else was close. And then what's happening?
Yeah.
Board's been set up right here. Darren, go knock on the door. Bob, get next to me. Rush them when they open the door.
It's mildly hard to do with a trackpad.
Joe, I can't see myself when I click on myself.
I also have that problem.
Is there a light? Does
Probably
anybody
in the
have
dark.
light?
You all have-
Or has dark vision. Is anybody? You bring a torch? It's nighttime.
You
As
guys
soon as
all
they
have
open-
the charm that Nero gave you that submits continual light.
Sorry. What?
Yeah, we have.
Except you all have a charm that emits continual light that Nero gave you after our last foray with darkness.
Are you all? Is anybody brandishing a light?
Is it like a wearable charm?
You don't have it, so it doesn't matter for you. Yes.
But Bob can have it.
Yeah.
I gave it to everyone after last time.
Bob, do you have your charm turned on? Are you emitting light?
The way you're asking, I want to say no, but yes.
You need to, because I can't see shit.
Yeah, that's right. I also can't see shit. Yeah,
Light
fuck yeah.
source, you have like a torch. All right. Can you click yourself now and see yourself?
Yeah.
Because you have a torch. All right. So you're walking up to this place. You're bringing a torch. You're lit up, and you walk up the stairs. And then what happens?
I'll knock on the door.
Durin knocks on the door.
It's gonna be good.
A moment passes, and the door opens.
Was there any commotion going on
hello.
there?
There was no commotion. Make a perception check, Mr. Durin,
Okay.
as the door opens.
Skills.
Yeah. So basically, you did hear chanting when you walked up to the door, and when you knocked, it stopped, and then it took a half a minute, a full minute before someone came to the door. And you were standing face to face with a shirtless, bleeding man who is looking above you for a moment before he turns down and says, "What?"
I full attack him.
Okay, so combat is happening. So we roll initiative.
Let's get fucked up.
And he says, I've been waiting for this. And his arms get really long and noodly.
Alright. So, he beats you in initiative. So he says what, and you basically gesture as if you're going to attack him. And he realizes the jig is afoot.
Jig is afoot.
The jig is afoot. And he shouts back, "Nalia, we have guests!" And he gets to go before you do, and he's going to full attack you. What's your AC? 28.
Nothing.
He misses all of those. Yeah. That's pretty fantastic. So you watch as he seems very overconfident. He's like, "Nalia, we have guests." And he just unloads like punch, punch, knee, punch, punch, and none of them connect as you just... How do you dodge them? How does Durin dodge? What does your armor mean to you?
Maybe he's just punching at eye level.
Yeah, Durin, on the ones that are high rolls, Durin is deflecting them, but the low rolls, he's just like fainting them.
Okay. So he does that, and you can tell that he's genuinely surprised. Like he believes his punches should be landing, and after the third one that misses and he keeps going, you can tell in his face he's concerned at the fact that you've deflected several of his blows and dodged the others, and he does see the people behind you, so he takes a step into the darkness like this.
Darkness.
Dern of House Dern.
Dern looks back and says, "I'm going in."
Buddy, you can't see in there.
Is there light in there?
There is light in there, yes.
Okay.
Do I see him if you step back?
You'd have to move in. You can't see him where he is. He walked around this corner. Now you see him, yeah.
I can't see shit.
Yeah, I'll give you a torch because I'm too lazy to apply torches to the room.
I didn't mean to do that. God damn it.
Oh, he's right here.
It's fine. Yeah, so he's right there.
All right, I'll 5 a step and full attack him. And I got the
Crits.
haste.
Fucking damn it.
You wasted two crits, yeah. Yeah, so he's there, and he doesn't seem too surprised that you followed him in. But go ahead.
Okay. I think my attack button may be wrong, but I'll tell you.
Let's find out.
It should be... Yeah, it's very wrong, actually.
Well, how wrong is it? Because you rolled a 2 and a 2.
It should be a plus 27, a plus 19, and a plus 14.
Plus 27?
Have you resynced your sheet?
Yeah. I have, because I have to change the ampersand thing.
What's the...
Every time I sync, my speed turns into that really long
It's a
sentence.
monster, yeah. It's a problem. So, it's a plus 27, and that's accurate, you're telling me?
How Nero of House Nero verified this.
Let me look.
I'm not making this up, Nero of House Nero.
Confirm the number for me, please. Thank you.
He gets 10 from strength. That might even be more if his blood rage is not in there. He gets 10 from strength, 11 from his. Come on, brain.
Come on, Brain.
11 from his class, and then 4 from his sword, and then I don't know.
So was it on like
So that's
26?
25,
25,
26, 25, 26, somewhere in there.
So plus
There must be
26.
some. Oh, and there's haste, which gives you plus 1.
There you go. Yeah, so you got him. So you got him with the first one, but not the second one.
The other one's plus 19.
Yeah, it's still a miss.
Yeah, you should have 3 attacks because you're at 11th
I
level.
had one more, sorry.
Oh, good. Yeah, so you hit him twice for 25 and 27 damage, which is
Yes.
52. Oh god, you intimidate him.
Yeah.
I'm
his
not done.
He's not done. So his DC against that is his hit dice plus his wisdom. So yeah, so he's shaken. He's visibly shaken. So you walked in when you opened the door, he was like visibly overconfident, and then you walked in, you clawed him twice, and he is visibly afraid of you now.
Can you get the hell out of the way?
Right. That was the surprise round.
Yes, you can.
I already moved here.
Yeah.
Let's move in.
Top of the
Here.
order. It is Vorz's turn.
We're just gonna. Wait, do I get an extra move? How is this?
Not an extra move, but an extra long move. You can move an extra 30 feet.
So I can just
So
basically
yes, this-
turn, right?
That
This
again.
attack, right? Or I can move and.
You can move and attack once.
Right, I do that. Haze.
Cha. 18. He dodges that. You would have a +2 from not using many shot or whatever.
I turned off rabbit shot.
Roll
Oh,
the
okay.
one.
Then yeah. So yeah, you roll the 1. Yeah. So he dodges that. You watch as he just kind of ducks down under the arrow as it flies past him. And
I guess we would move. I would have moved here,
okay.
maybe.
You want to move closer now?
Not there. Why does this being so difficult? There we go.
Okay. So Nalia goes, and she walks over to here, say. And she casts a spell on... See, Dern or Bob. Let's flip a coin here. She has chosen the other one, not Dern.
Vors.
The Vors, yes, the Vors. She's
Good.
casting Flame Strike on you. So
I don't like that.
What do I need to roll for Flame Strike? It is not a roll. It's you make a reflex save, Mr. Vors.
Oh, he's good at that.
Yeah. A vertical column of divine fire falls upon you. So roll a reflex save. You have failed and take 39 fire damage.
Woof.
So again, she walks in the room, she grabs her holy symbol and says some magic words, and a pillar of flame appears above you and just zaps you. And that is her turn. Robert, the Zoop.
I want to be here.
Yeah.
I only got one attack. I'm going to smack Nicolo.
Okay.
Nicolo.
Nicolo. You have missed
Oh, Cinder Boss.
I missed
27?
him with a 27?
with a 28. You missed them because you have haste.
Darn. Nicolo.
Woof.
Nero of House Nero. Third son of a third son. Are you doing anything, Nero, or are you just hiding?
He's beatboxing.
Bitch is hiding in the... That'll be...
Nero will summon.
What? Okay, you're beginning a summon?
Yes,
Right.
and because Nero's summoning completes immediately.
Oh, because you took that feat now.
Yes,
Great.
correct.
What are you summoning now? You got dogs barking. You want some more dogs? I'll give you more dogs.
We're down.
I'm going on with
Bags,
dogs,
cats.
What do you want? A cat?
yes. Nero wants lantern archons.
Yeah, you
Okay.
would.
And where are you putting the
I
lantern?
will roll for them. Putting them. I would assume that they'd be next to him or on the stairs, and he'd basically tell them, disrupt the caster.
How many do you get in these lantern archons?
I will roll them.
What? No way.
Six.
You get 6 of them. What is even
Joe,
happening?
we are that powerful.
What does that even mean? Alright, so
I can
6 lantern archons appear nearby you. And what do you tell
We
them?
brought too much force.
Get in there.
we get sound
disrupt
effects for those?
the spellcast.
Yeah, Joe.
Disrupt the cleric of Asmodeus.
Okay.
Bring her down.
Their speed is 60 fly, so they appear near you and they fly up the stairs. That's 35. So they can't break through the window. So yeah, so they're basically going to move into this room. They're going to float above Vors and everybody. We'll say they get all the way there. And you told them to disrupt the cleric, or just like specifically disrupt her?
He said disrupt the cleric, bring her down.
Okay, so they're gonna zap her then. They're gonna zap her once each. What is her? Oh, she's basically naked. She's wearing like a satin robe, but is otherwise naked. And these are attacks anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So let's see. The first one hits, second one hits, third one hits, fourth one misses, sixth one hits. So all but one hit. So 4, 8, 10 miss. 1 is 11. Did I only roll 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I miss one? Am I crazy?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
Yeah, well,
Negative.
I miscounted wrong then. So 6, 10, 14, 16, miss, 17. All right, there you go. There it is. All right, so 17 damage, and she has no DR, right? Yeah, correct. All right. Dern. How's Dern?
Did you skip Niccolo?
I skipped Niccolo. Good call. Thank you for reminding me. That's nice.
Ooh.
I don't want to make it that easy.
Yeah, that's true. So Dern's the only person that hurt him so far, so I think he's gonna flip out on Dern. But he is going to step back, and you watch Dern as he rubs a ring on his hands and begins saying words. Do you speak Infernal?
Dern does not speak Infernal.
Does Bob speak Infernal?
Boris does.
I feel like Bob would, but I don't know.
If you don't know, you don't, is the answer to that question.
All right.
Bob. Oh, God damn it.
Sorry?
Bob would speak Infernal.
Yeah, aren't you like an infernal?
Yeah,
You
Bob
have,
like
you have
made
to
of
have like an
fire.
intelligence score to speak extra languages or to put a point in linguistics. You don't just
He
become...
doesn't speak it. Move on.
Yeah, he doesn't speak it. So he's talking devil tongue, Mr.
What does he
Bob.
say?
He's rubbing his ring and saying that I call to you. You owe me this. You promised me this.
Oh no, that doesn't work. That's my god.
And he backs up.
Again?
I guess he would have to back up like this.
Do I get a hit on him for casting in combat?
It's not a casting. He's using an item. It's fine. And in front of you, Mr. Dern, appears a bone devil.
God fucking
Okay.
damn it.
Whoa, I don't know what that is.
So a giant devil appears in front of you, Dern, and it looks toward Niccolo, who just points at the halfling, and then he goes off on you, Mr. Dern.
This is not good for
And he hits with that 31, but everything else is a miss, yeah?
Yeah,
4-7. And I'll look
DR2,
at DR2.
and five goes to ablative barrier, so
Oh,
so
fantastic.
nothing.
So let me do 5 now.
That's what happens when you let Nas help me optimize.
That's a problem. Yeah. So Dern, look it up. I'll see if the Bone Devil does anything else cool, but go ahead and you can go.
I did not.
Can I still hit? Can I still hit Niccolo?
You can, but he has cover from being around the wall.
Just take out the fucking Bone Devil, dude.
Yeah, I'll just take out the Bone Devil.
Bone Devil's gonna fuck us
Okay.
up.
It's not the...
So, okay, the first one is, again, it's supposed to be plus 27, plus 19, plus 14.
Plus
I have
20.
I have haste. So does that give me 4 attacks or 3 attacks?
3 attacks,
Yeah.
I think.
So 27, 19, 14.
So that's a plus 12, plus 9. Why are they so different? Like, why? I guess the
I
first
don't know.
one's-
I tried to sync him. He's 11th level, so he has 3 attacks. He gets
Yeah.
a 4th one at top bonus from haste.
So also the 4th one's at plus 27?
So should we just roll those for damage and then have him roll d20s for
Yeah,
hits
roll
and
d20s and
add
let
it
me
up?
know what I'm supposed to see, because these numbers are not making sense. Go ahead.
Just roll 4 d20s?
Does he get 4? Yeah, if you get 4.
Yes,
Okay.
roll 4.
Give me one moment.
He's a Blood Rager? He's an 11th level Blood Rager? They get 3 attacks naturally?
Yes.
Okay, alright. Of course, like, my graphics are broken, so I can't. Okay, so you rolled a 1, an 8, a 17, and a 10. So the 1 is a miss. The 8 plus, what'd you say the highest number is?
27. 27.
So a 35 is a hit. Alright, so your second attack hits for 25 damage, and he has DR 10. So he takes 17 damage. Alright. And then what is
19.
what's his 17 plus what?
Plus 19.
Then, yeah,
That's a threat.
that's a threat? Oh, good. Okay.
Oh,
so
that's
Yeah.
a threat?
roll another d20, why not?
Roll the d20s, like, do the brackets so they don't appear like
It's-
that,
it's
so
fine.
that Joe
You
doesn't
roll
have to go
an extra
searching
time.
for them.
So he crit. Is that a baby awake? So roll double damage. Roll another damage dice. Just roll that your whatever your regular attack.
Roll my damage, you mean?
Yes, correct. Roll the attack so it works again.
Okay, hold on. I'll just roll. I'll press the dice because if I type, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Plus 30.
Plus 30. You get a d6 plus 30 as your damage dice.
Yeah, and then double that.
How it's plus 21 on your sheet on the rolls you have before. How? I gotta look.
I
at
don't
your
know, bro.
sheet.
I
don't
just press
believe
the
any of
button.
these numbers. These
I
numbers
just
are all
press the
crap.
button. You say this every time.
I don't believe any of these numbers.
You're just like Nas Star Trek.
I don't, I don't believe any of these numbers. I'm going to apply it, but I don't believe any of these numbers.
Don't I have way more that connected?
Yeah, you also got a 25 on top of it, yes. Which has no DR.
So another one.
Yes. And then the last one you rolled a 10. What's your last attack? What's your weakest attack?
14. So no.
24
that's
is
a
a
miss.
miss, yes. Okay. So you slice the Bone Devil twice, once critically. You slice
And-
it, and you get one stab through the chest.
I'm not done.
How are you not done?
You're the worst.
So it is afraid of you, yes.
So is it shaken or?
Yeah.
It is shaking, that is what.
How am I just rolling 36 over and over? That's ridiculous.
I don't know. Don't update Java though.
I win. What's happening?
Um,
A bunch of lantern
I
archives
will-
just flew past you.
yeah, well, she's going to pop up to the window again
Yes.
with that sort of thing. And then we'll ready a Bone Shaker spell for when the caster does something.
Smart.
Yeah.
This guy casts.
Casters, no casters.
Casters, no casters.
This guy does cast spells.
Vors, make a perception check.
I can't.
Can't. The Archon's on top of you.
I found my hitbox. Or my clip
There
box.
you go. Yeah, I'll move him away from you. Yeah. So you are not surprised. So as this is going on, you hear a growling happening over here, and you hear a thump, and the door in front of you swings open. And a very large dog-looking thing is coming straight at you.
Fucking Mongo, you piece of shit.
You don't talk that way about Mongo. Mongo bursts through the door and tries to bite at you, Mr. Vors.
Force
Yeah.
you threat.
Does he provoke an attack of opportunity?
Not moving into it, no. You don't have reach.
Not.
no.
But what about
He
all
does.
the lantern
He does
archons?
every-
You get lit
I
the hell
got
up.
reach too.
My
He moved from
Yeah.
here to here, so no, you guys don't have.
Probably
attacks.
not. But yeah, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, so he bites Mr. Vors for 23 plus 5 fire, which is 28 unless you've got fire resistance.
I don't.
Yeah, so Mongo bursts into the room and bites you, and his mouth is like breathing fire. Like as he exhales, he's like he's snorting and just breathing out flames. And it is Vors' turn.
Just there.
Just kill it. Just kill it. You don't have to move even.
Just kill it. You're a horrible monster. We're all monsters. Just kill it.
All right. So yeah. All right. Just gonna unload on Mongo.
All right, and you have all those cool feats so you can shoot in melee and no one cares. So let's see, you got a 31, a 24, 27, 20... Oh no, those are damages. So 31, 24, 27, 19, 22. A 24 is the magic number, so hit, 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 miss, miss. So 41, 20, 22. Does he have DR? No. So 41, 61, 83...
See, it's normal.
It is still alive. And those were over multiple attacks, so he doesn't take massive damage really. But you smack him several times in various parts of his body, and you can tell he's visibly injured. He's at like maybe a third of his health, but he is still pissed off.
So we're gonna 5-foot step
Alright?
and be like, "Hey Bob, I slapped him up for you."
Alright.
There's still a bone devil over here.
I have the devil.
All right.
Looks tasty.
The Cleric Asmodeus goes. That's not useful, that's not useful.
Darren's gonna eat a whole ass devil.
What's an ass devil?
That is an ass devil.
Like a big ass devil.
It is going to walk over to here. And Iwin, you can't see him see her through the window anymore. You gonna cast as she's walking away?
I mean, I think as soon as she walks, like I would.
Okay. Fort save. So she begins walking, and you begin shaking her bones. And she fails her fort save. So she's here. She takes a step, and she takes the full 29 points of damage. And then you do what? You bone shake her 5 feet.
Yeah, sure. Maybe 5 feet, so she out of my sight.
Okay.
So
which way would you like her to move? And she's gonna make a perception check to see if she notices you do this. And you have to talk in a regular volume. So yeah, so she notices you as you're doing this through the window. And then where do you move her? Oh, so you move her there. Okay. So she notices this, and she's going to finish her movement. So she notices, and she shouts back, like, they're in the windows, they're everywhere, we got it surrounded. And she casts on Niccolo. And she does... What is it? She has what? Niccolo gets 25 hit points. And Robert, the Zoob.
Can you move Lantern Archon 3 out of my way real quick?
Just stay where you are and swing. You'll be fine.
What's up?
Just stay where you are. Swing.
Okay.
What you want to do, buddy? Be you. Be Bob.
Just
That's a
because you
threat.
can kill Mongo from there, yeah.
That's a
hitting
threat.
Mongo or the Bob? Or the devil?
The Mongo.
The Mongo. Alright. What's a threat? The first one's a
The
threat.
first
Roll
one.
again. That's a confirmed crit. So
Triple.
you dealt with the first attack, you dealt 48 damage, yeah?
More than that.
More, my bad, with the first. 23, 25 and 23 is 48. The first hit.
It's times 3, isn't it?
Oh, it is times
Yeah, it's
3. So yeah, you're right, use the other one too, so 26. So it's dead in the first hit. It doesn't, it doesn't care about your fire damage.
Okay.
Nice, Bob.
So does that mean that I can swing at the Bone Devil now?
Do you have reach?
I mean I don't know.
How did you attack?
No.
Did you have to move? No, so yeah.
No, I don't.
So theoretically, you had moved here and murdered it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Lantern Archon's in it.
It's fine. It's fine. Nero, I'm gonna shoot your Lantern Archons, and then what are you gonna do?
Well,
Are they all shooting at the cleric? They have to move to do that.
I suppose they do what they were told to do. I don't know. They're reasonably bright. I don't know if they'd start shooting the devil or what they'd start doing. That's sort of up to you, dude.
All right, fine. They're gonna move and shoot. And we'll say the devil gets to swipe at a couple of them, but they're gonna shoot. He's gonna swipe. Claw. What's their AC? So yeah, he nails 2 of them for 6 each, but they have got DR10. LOL. Oh, but he bypasses them because he's got evil weapons. He's evil. So 6 on 2 of them, we'll say, is probably not even enough to knock him down, right?
Yeah, they've got good constitution
They don't
bonuses
care.
as well, too.
Yeah, so they fly by, they take a couple of swings, and they blast this lady. And her armor class is a 9 with touch attack, so hit, all hits. So 1, 5, 6, 10, 12, 18. They're blasting this lady for 18 damage. She's not.
Oof.
And Nero, you get your turn now.
Nero hasn't taken any damage from Bob.
That's true.
He'll summon something else. Summon a Bone Devil. Send it, or not Bone Devil. Bearded Devil.
A what?
A Bearded Devil.
Alright, summon a bearded devil.
I was trying to Bone Devil action.
More things to
Hot bone on bone action.
Hot bone on bone action, yeah.
all bone all the time.
Yeah.
So you summon it somewhere you can see, presumably. That's how that works. It's loading. Let's go
Yeah.
RPG. I believe in you.
TakeRPG.com.
It's currently delayed. It's thinking about loading the Bone Devil.
Bearded devil?
Beard, yeah, whatever. That
Oh.
one, yeah.
There he is.
So yeah, so you summon it here, and then what? It runs up and does. What are you telling it to do?
Run up there, do whatever the archer tells you to do.
Alright. Alright, so it runs, and that's its move. Presumably, Vors, you heard that. What are you going to tell it to do?
Attack the Bone Devil.
Alright, it's going to try to swing once from where it is with just its spear. Wow, that's fucking terrible. But I like
It's a weak shit.
A 17 is a miss, yeah, so he stabs at it from around the corner and misses horribly. Gotta fix that fucking bug. Cool. Alright, that's Nero's turn. Niccolo Alizario goes. And, I don't know what he's gonna do. He wants to fight Dern, but all these things are beating up on his lady friend. I don't think he can really jump into the air and fight them all. They're kind of floating there, so I think he's just gonna kind of unload on Dern. He's gonna try his best to fight Dern around the corner. He's afraid. That 30...
There you go. Don't I get cover?
Yeah, you get cover, that's what, yeah. So he would have hit except for the cover. So yeah, so he's punching, kicking around the corner, and he misses just because of the cover. You watch as he kicks the wall, and a big piece of the stone wall comes off. Like, his kick was immensely powerful, and just barely missed you because of the wall. And you can tell he's very frustrated. And he backs off even further into the corner. Dern, how's Dern?
Dern turns to Vors and says, "Any prisoners?"
No.
Nah. And he unloads again.
Don't eat the body.
Nah.
Let him eat the devil. Come on, everybody needs a little treat.
So what?
No,
Dude,
no,
give
no.
me that body.
Roll them with brackets, because this is insane to look at.
Yeah, it's 13 plus.
I gotta type it.
Plus 19 or something. What do you,
27, 27, 19, 14.
why does your sheet not work?
Bro, I
27,
don't know.
27? You get plus 27? I don't understand it. Okay. Yes. Then those are, the first two are hits. And a
27,
19
27.
is another hit.
Yeah.
And then what's the last one? 14?
14. Yeah.
Those are all hits. You got 4 hits.
Any threats in there, dude?
What's that threat to him? A 15?
15 or higher.
15.
Yes.
Yeah, the
correct.
second one.
Yeah.
Let me roll to confirm again.
Yeah, roll a d20.
Oh. Plus what?
I sent you the
Plus
brackets.
my
And,
highest.
It's the second one, so it's a plus 29 or the fuck you said before.
No.
27. 27.
It's
You rolled
okay,
a
I
1,
screwed
so
up.
it's, yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not
it's
a
okay.
confirmed crit. So yeah, so then so I guess
But
we
I
add up
did-
all these numbers then.
I just did all that damage.
How do you go plus 30? I'm really going to have to look this over after this. So 35, 67,
I totally just blew that.
99,
It's 134.
134. I believe that. minus 10 DR on each of them. So only
94.
94.
No.
So you take him to negative 57 hit points, and he is very dead. So you slice and you slice and you slice, and when you kill him, he does die there. He wasn't poof like a summon thing. He does die bleeding on the ground.
Oh, I can eat him.
And you're done. Vors of House Vors.
You can hit Niccolo, but that's in a cover, right?
That is correct.
So like he'd unload onto the cleric until she dies, and then all the rest of the shots are going on him.
All right, sure.
Look at this guy thinking he's gonna hit the cleric.
25 does hit the cleric for 37 piercing damage. She's got no DR. She is dead. You nail her in the neck, and she collapses, reaching for Niccolo. Make a knowledge check, Mr. Vors.
No, I want to tilt it.
And she falls to the ground dying. You rolled a 35 for your knowledge and ability. That is Nalia Melkoff. She is the daughter of a fairly influential noble family in Cheliax.
Cool.
And you notice as she's reaching out to Niccolo, you're pretty sure that she's not a nobody in this town. And she dies, and you turn the rest of your arrows to him with cover. And you got a 31, a 33, a 17, and a 22. 17 and 22 miss. The 31 and 33 are hits. And you watch as your first arrow is going right towards his chest, and he smacks it away. But the second one hits for 18 damage. And point blank shot, so +1. Or is that already in there?
That's in there.
It's in there, okay, so it goes on. Alright. I win! All you can see is Lantern Archons.
Ivan will teleport through the window,
Cool.
as she does. Let's put her here.
Hanging out with everyone, nice.
Why not? So that's this guy. And then she will, just for fun, do so many fucking spells to go through. This guy on Niccolo.
Okay, takes a
So-
-8 strength. And he needs to make a fort save to try to prevent this from happening then. Alright, buddy. I believe in you.
To have it. Nope.
No.
So 8 strength, and the 8 strength is going to go to, let's say Bobber.
They get the strength? Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Enhancement bonus, so it doesn't stack with his regular bull strength. So he gets a +4 to his regular strength. So let's just call it +2 to hit and damage, unless you want to sink your sheet, Mr. Bob.
So do you want me to sink, or?
If you want to do it, if you want to do that, yes. If you don't, we can just say +2 to hit and damage.
All right, fine, we'll do that. All right, well, I've got to come over yonder if I'm going to do anything.
Clank, clank, clank,
That's 10. I got to go one more.
clank.
We out here.
Yep.
Fuego.
A 31's a
Big
hit.
Fuego.
A 29's a hit. So you got 2 hits and a miss. For 23, 27 is 50. And you get another. Oh no, you only get 1 attack because you moved. So just the first one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, wait, I'm not done. I'm not done.
And he does take fire damage, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Yes, he does.
He gets the +2 from the strength also.
Also true. And he is still. Yeah, he's afraid of you. He's shaken. Alright, not going great for Niccolo Alzario. Hero. Your things shoot a bunch of things. What are you gonna yell? You don't see anything. You're just outside hanging out. You see a
Hero
little bit of
hasn't heard
Niccolo
any
through the window.
He hasn't heard any calls for help. He hasn't heard anything going on. He's just gonna sort of wait, I think. Because I don't want to also pile in like 18,000 more things for you to manage.
More things. 30
More
dogs.
things. So your Lantern Archons, they killed the cleric. What do you think they would do next? Are they smart enough to attack Niccolo?
They're smart. I don't know. Yeah, I would assume. Whatever you think is the caveat. If one wants to come out and ask me and head back, that's fine. Everyone wasted his turn doing that. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll say that they're smart enough. They begin zapping your enemy. They understand what enemies are. Alright, so his touch is much higher. Miss, 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 hit. So 5, 8, miss, miss. 13. You take 13, he takes 13 damage.
Don't forget the bearded devil.
Oh, the bearded devil. Yeah, why not? He plods in. He looks at the bone devil who's dead and chuckles. And then he's gonna look and see that Bob is engaging Niccolo, and look around at the rest of you is like, this is the guy, right? This is what we're supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he takes 1 stab. A 31. It's a threat. Good job, bearded devil. A confirmed crit, bearded devil. Are glaives ×3? Or are they just 2s?
So.
Come on, weapons. A glaive. Why are you so broken? Stupid absolute. A glaive is ×3. Fantastic. Alright, so let's take that. So 10 plus 14 plus 7 is 24, 31 damage. Good job. So this guy glaives Niccolo Alizario, and he is straight up dead. And that's that. I am going to stop the combat music. And I know we kind of have a hard stop. We're already a little over midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, how you doing? You guys have murdered Niccolo Elizario, and also...
What are you talking about? I think the Black Widow did it. That's what I heard, at least.
That's what you heard, yeah.
That's what I saw.
And Nalia Melkoth is also dead.
Darn. Eat the cleric.
Okay. Then he right away runs over.
Whoa, Darn, calm down. I'm supposed to feed you the bodies.
Oh, okay. He stops and waits.
Bob doesn't even pick it up on the hammer this time. Just picks up the body and chucks it at Darn, like basketball style.
I'll open my mouth hilariously wide and eat the lady.
And yeah, Boris will just say, cut off his head, eat the body.
We're eating this body.
Yeah, you can eat that body too. But we need to
Which body you're talking about, sorry?
cut the head off and cut Nicola's head off,
Niccolo's head, okay.
and keep and then Darn can eat the body.
He has money, right? Can we check first?
Let's
I don't
loot
digest money
let's
well.
loot the body before Darn gets a stomachache.
All right,
Yeah.
we do that.
Nalia
And we'll
has a
start.
bunch of stuff.
Start
Go ahead.
pop. She's gonna pop open doors. She'll probably do detect magic on him first, and then pop them open.
There are no magic on the doors. So I'm going to go ahead and move you into a couple of rooms. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. So you find just kind of a lounge with tables. And this is like a little office. And this is some sort of kind of bed chamber. And the majority of the loot that Nalia has on her is actually in the bed chamber in one of the closets. She obviously wasn't wearing armor, didn't have her shield out. But yeah, that's what the two of them have.
I'll eat her then, and the head, and the devil.
Eat her and
Does this
everything.
a door do over here?
Yes, apparently. You find there's a washroom and a crapper. And toss me a perception check. I went as you're walking through the house.
Yeah, Boris would also scope it all out. So
Sure.
once you make sure that the bodies are attended to.
All right. Is there any treasure in the house other than what they have? No. You don't find anything interesting in the bedroom. Again, a lot of her loot is in one of the closets in the bedroom, but there's not a whole lot of treasure to be found. Walking back to the pentagram itself, you see in the center of it, underneath the candle, what you thought was just kind of some sort of holder for the candle, is actually the helm of a pit fiend. And you believe that it is worth some amount of money. You can make an appraise check to see if you know what you know about that.
The knowledge check is just for what it would do. I guess the appraise is for what it's worth.
So you don't believe it's magical or anything like that, but you believe that it's apologies. It is a helm carved from the skull of a pit fiend. Apologies, I misread that. So it's not a helm that a pit fiend wears. It's a pit fiend's head carved into a helm. And you don't believe it's magical or has any special powers or anything like that, but you believe that it is a divine focus for a ritual like this. You would need something like this to be able to infuse infernal power into somebody, as they were doing. And with an appraise check like that, you believe that it's worth about 5,000 gold.
Holy shit.
She.
Oh, 15.
A lot of money. Can we sell that without getting made?
Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, you're the guy.
We got a guy for that.
You'll get your cut. Don't say anything.
What?
He's over there eating corpses. All right.
All right. Well, let's close the doors gently on our way out.
Rearrange the pillows.
Do we want? I mean, right? What would it be? What's our story going to be? Do we want
What's
just the
story?
pentagram to be part of it, or do we want it not to be part of it?
Just leave it there. It's fine. Don't try to disturb it as little as possible. We'll figure it out. Just
You've also done this before.
remove all the blood.
Has Nero walked into the room?
Nope.
Okay. So just to be clear, you decapitated him and Dern ate the body.
Yeah, Boris
Okay.
has them.
You have his head.
Yep.
What are you doing with the head?
Putting it in my bag of holding.
Putting it in your bag of holding. Okay. Okay, got it. And everything else was eaten. There's blood on the
Yeah.
floor, though. There is blood.
Can clean that up. You can
switch track. Yeah.
zap that away, scrub it away.
Yeah. Prestidigitation, does that work?
Is there yeah? Do you have magic to do this? Do you have prestidigitation?
Dern don't, but I'm sure the cantrips for Iwan, no?
Does Iwan have
Which one?
prestidigitation?
No.
Level 0? No. Okay. Then no.
Let's
Nero,
see.
can you summon something that does prestidigitation?
Nero's outside. Are you gonna go outside and talk to Nero?
Yeah.
Blood dripping
Yeah.
down your lips.
I'm a spellcaster, so I say, hey, do you have something to clean this mess up? And this is
I don't know. What do you need?
prestidigitation.
No, I don't. I don't have that sort of influence on things.
None of
I
your
don't
people?
think I have anything that could clean it up. I could summon a water elemental.
Why don't we just burn the place, no?
There's people who live downstairs. What do you mean?
Oh.
I don't want to know what. I don't want to know what happened up there.
Oh. Okay.
Just
I don't. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't see anything that's like obvious that I have for that, unless acid would do anything to it. But yeah, I can prevent the head from decaying if we wanted to.
If you want to
that.
keep the head fresh.
yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I can do that. So quick study and get gentle repose up and cast that.
Okay. So the head's good for several days, I think, at least.
I think it just doesn't. It just let me see.
It has a duration. 'Cause I
You
remember
preserve
having
it so it
cast
doesn't decay. It's 1 day per level.
Yeah, so 11 days. Yeah.
So
I remember
11
having cast that
days,
a lot
yeah.
as a cleric once to keep something fresh. Okay. So you've done that. You have Nicolo's head in a bag, preserved for 11 days. Can't do much about the crime scene.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
Pick
So
up arrows. Pick up all my.
Water elemental.
you want to summon a water elemental and have it rub itself on the blood?
Sure.
And then what
Clean it up.
vanishes and all the blood stays, though. Blood's going to fall someplace else.
Can you
Not,
summon
not if
earth?
Dern eats the water elemental.
Can you
We have
summon
a-
earth elementals to drag the water elementals underground?
So,
Do we
I
have,
don't know the physics of all that.
Let's just give it to Dern, man. We got void stomach. He's probably thirsty. He eats a lot and doesn't drink
The
any.
water elemental goes and flushes itself down the toilet.
Yeah,
Smart.
that too.
Very smart. You
There we
guys.
go.
Genius.
Now we're cooking.
Now
Whatever.
you're
Fine.
clever. So Nero, are you going to summon a water elemental to go upstairs and do something you don't want to know about?
Sure.
Okay. He summons a water elemental for 66 seconds, who runs upstairs and is ordered to do something he doesn't know about.
I'll guide it.
I say, ask the archer what to do.
So,
Do whatever the archer tells you.
so a large water elemental roils up the stairs and looks around trying to understand who is the archer, who says what to it.
I'm the archer. clean up the.
Okay. So it rolls
And then-
around on the ground for a while, and you watch as the vast majority of the blood, not all of it, but the vast majority of the blood is now within its contents.
You missed a spot.
It spends some more time doing it, and yes, picks up all of the blood that you can see.
No, go flush yourself down the John.
Okay. It's like it's not like a toilet, like a plumbed sewer. It's like an outhouse thing, so it's gonna go underground somewhere. But yes.
Yeah.
So it looks at you curiously for a moment, and then it agrees, and goes over here and goes down the toilet. And you are pretty sure that the blood that you can see is gone. You can't
Sounds awful.
You can't detect any blood in the area.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So you've got a head in a bag. You got a bunch of loot. We'll deal with later, and that's the session because it's 12:18. So what do you got? Morals and hero.
There are a lot of morals here, bud.
A lot of morals. All right. What do you got? Hit me.
All right, we got. Where do you want to start here?
we're-
Start at the top, I suppose.
That would make sense.
All right. Not that you're doing anything for Queen or country.
Empire. But yeah, Queen and Empire. Yeah.
All right.
Slavery is the law, and they're slaves with the better master. I don't like that one. Nero will fluff Vors as much as is necessary. Toss me a diplomacy check for your fluffery. Rolls a 40. Oh, he's totally fluffed up now.
Eggplant emoji.
He's infiltrating her much better than I could. I have a question for you. If you don't appreciate my methods, I'm happy to report to someone above you.
The boss on this halfling, I swear.
Vors is basically the group's bard. Yeah, don't talk too much. Write it and stand far away from me. I do not love Bob.
Aww.
In a word, no, but yes. It's illegal to feel that way. No slaves tonight except Dern. I was ready for you to do this 5 sessions ago. That might be a mistake, but okay. The jig is afoot. I don't know. Don't update Java, though.
Most of those are pretty good. All right, so does anybody nominate one of those to be the moral?
I was ready for you to do this 5 seconds.
I like that one the most because, you know, our loyal fan will appreciate that. I think
It's memorable.
Oh man, this is session 53, and that is the moral.
we don't have an MVP yet, do we?
No, you can nominate people for it though. Who did funny things and good things?
Jeff did something this session.
He did. He did a bunch of things this session.
Jeff did a bunch of things. Jeff also said funny things this session. I nominate Jeff.
You're here.
I'm going to nominate Dern for the thuggery. Like 134 point crit and like dodging 15 fists.
That's also true.
It's thuggery.
This guy and his stats. I gotta look at your sheet very
And it's-
closely.
Plus 30 rolls.
Yeah, also the ball's on Dern. I might vote for Dern in the end of this.
I
Yeah.
nominate Highway, but I vote for Dern.
America.
I say number 1. Dern's Canadian though, but whatever.
Vors building up the whole barrister thing is pretty excellent.
It was
So
pretty evil.
that's a pretty excellent thing to advance Dern's whole plot. Dern's roleplay with his master was again ridiculous and totally gonzo and hilarious. Jeff talking around anything. Oh, are you like a gangster? Are you like the guy with the thing? Are you talking about the guy with the thing and the guy? That thing? Yes. Yeah. All those things were very good.
Well, I already have 3 votes for Dern, so it's over. Dern wins the MVP award.
Yeah, Darren. I needed the hero point too.
Fantastic.
You
I don't want
said
to say
that.
anything.
You're supposed to say that. You said the quiet part out loud. Nas votes for Nero. Great. Good job.
I'll vote for Bob then.
All right, vote for Bob. That's everything. I will save it. Anything else you guys want to say before we stop the recording? Oh, Bijo, if you're still here, if you're actually watching this, we would like your input on not who is the best player, so kind of like an anti-hero point. Who do you think was the worst in this session that deserves some sort of a hex? Like I can give them a -8 next time, like an anti-hero.
No, we said a 4. We said 4.
No. Well, I said what I want to say. So
Yeah,
I
he
said
does what he wants.
So basically, who do you think deserves a anti-hero point? If you're still here, chime in, let us know, and thanks for playing, everybody. Later.